Hi guys.
Hello, cat.
We are five at the moment. Now four.
She's still here. Don't worry about it.
Excellent. I believe Pat also has some felines in the background.
That's spoilers.
Not here right now. I bribed them.
Spoliers.
We're getting so spolied right now.
Yep.
I bribed
It's gone off the rails.
Spoly.
Yes. All right. Welcome to episode 9 of the Six Pack Podcast. We're one away from double digits, which is crazy. We have a guest. We will let our lovely guest introduce herself in just a moment. Shan.
Yes.
Harry.
Bonjour.
We.
Housekeeping. Anything we need to do.
I love keeping houses. That's so awesome. My only housekeeping is for audio listeners. The reason why that beginning got so derailed was because Shan's cat was in the frame.
Yes. My sister's cat.
Wow. Any
She's
more
visiting.
info on that cat, Shan?
She's a tortie. She was a street cat that was living in a backpack with her kittens. She's quite small, actually. If you saw her, she's like quite a small cat. What else is special about you? She stares. There's nothing behind her eyes. And she likes to bring me mice and yell about it.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
An icon.
Perfect.
She is an icon.
Mood.
Harry, any housekeeping?
No, I don't have any housekeeping. I think the house has been well kept. I hope you're doing well.
Nice.
Is the housekeeping?
Excellent. I think we're doing well.
Good.
Today's been a bit of a day, but
Yeah.
we're making it work. Right on. Pat, please tell our lovely audience who you are.
I'm Pat, which is a nickname of mine because there's several. I've lived on the internet for a very long time with another one that I use in the Discord server, so people there know that, and that's what I've been using. Which is, I tried to tell Alex and Harry, the DM, how to pronounce it at MCM in October. They are trying their best, and I'm so glad for that. I'm so happy for that. But yeah, I am a Hungarian living in Austria. So English isn't even my second language, it's my third. I am older than I look. People keep constantly getting surprised. Yeah, someone's coming. I work at the Post. There she is. I believe you've met her mother last time.
Audio listeners, we have a black cat on the screen. We
Yes,
are
we
now
do.
officially natural 6 because we have fudge. No, the other cat has disappeared. We were 6 people at one point.
We were
so
6, yes, for a moment.
She's still here. Don't worry. She will harass me again.
Yeah,
audio
like
listeners. She was harassing me that entire time Pat was talking. So if you heard me laugh, that's why I was under attack.
You weren't laughing at Pat.
The YouTube
the
YouTube video is going to be such an experience.
Just me going like this.
Cat.
It's going to be yes, we should be calling this the cat
podcast.
Yeah.
Six cat
the
podcast.
6 cat podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
That hits well, Shan.
I mean, Kari has 3. You have 1. I have 2. That is 6.
There's another one. There's another one over there too.
7 cats.
So 7
Perfect.
cats.
Even better.
There's one ear right here. Can you see it? Oh God. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
cat
so sorry.
has attacked. Right.
Anyway, I work at the post office. I'm just behind the counter, handing people letters, taking letters, stamping stuff. Austrian Post is also a bank, so there's some bank stuff there. I, however, have a master's in Finno-Ugric studies, so Why am I working at the Post? That is a long story, way out of the bounds of this podcast.
Excellent.
I have a dot load of hobbies. I don't want to say bad words because stuff. Most of which include crafting and being creative.
In fact, we have had your art on the art showcase previously, Pat.
Also,
Yeah.
last episode, Shan showed the little dice bag and I was so happy.
I tried, apparently. I didn't realize no one could see it.
Yeah, it was visible. It was just muted because
Yeah.
it looked more dark than
Yeah,
it
it's
actually is
green.
because it's green, the main color. But yeah,
Excellent.
and I love cats. I think that may have been, I don't know if it was clear enough, but I love cats.
I think
That is a very surprising revelation, most likely.
I think that is clear at this point, Pat.
Mhm.
Yes. So, how'd you find Natural Six?
That is the exact same story as Kari's. Because I know Kari.
Ah,
From the same group. Like she has been there in the Mythical Musings fan group since the beginning. I joined it in 2019, and then 2019 December, January 2020, I became an admin there as well. So I'm also hosting stuff, and I became part of that family somehow.
Very
So
cool.
a lot
That's
of
really
the
awesome.
things that she mentioned included me. Like I am one of her warlocks.
Oh, brilliant. Do you have any? Do you have any like extra or like I don't know not contradictory stories? I don't know, extra stories, extra details that weren't mentioned.
Hmm.
That we can
Well,
get the true inside scoop.
Well, there wasn't any mention of the particulars, but she did say that some of the warlocks are multiclassing. Mine isn't. I'm just a full-on warlock because I wanted
Oh,
to experience the full warlock thing.
The pure warlock.
And yeah, it is annoying to only have 2 spell slots, but as per Baldur's Gate 3, I know that just short rest, you have it back. It's fine. Um, my warlock is a bit of a special case because we did look into homebrewing it, but then I decided against it because I don't want to mix it up already at the first time. I always wanted to play a warlock based around beholders because I love beholders. I think they're one of the coolest monsters in D&D, and I've always loved dragons, of course, but beholders and mimics are they are my favorites. And I wanted her to have a beholder patron, which she has. And I meant to base her spell specifically that I picked on the beholder race. Like I wrote it down. They can only have necrotic or force damage. There's charm, fear, hold person might be a spell, but I think I don't have it yet, or maybe I keep forgetting. But basically these spells that a beholder ray can do, like disintegrate does force damage. There's necrotic stuff, yeah, and it's going very interestingly because
that's
as she also
fun.
mentioned, we use Tailspire sometimes for the map creation, even though Kari has an enormous amount of terrain that she can just build. Like she has warlock tiles, she has maps, she has a few thousand dice, she has a lot of miniatures, painted, unpainted. She's painting them all the time. So yeah, we wouldn't necessarily need Tailspire, but it's a very fun thing to play around with. So I'm usually her DM's assistant in there when we game.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Brilliant.
So, from a Natural Six perspective, you also were there after the Kickstarter then?
Yep.
Pat? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Brilliant.
Just trying to get
I would
the
have loved to
timing.
be in there because heck yeah, give me it.
Yeah.
But
Timing
yeah.
wasn't right. Yeah.
but I'm here now and I love it.
One thing we didn't ask Carrie, when did you first join the watch parties, Pat?
Not the first or second, I think, because the thing is, we did find Natural Six through our American friends, but we always watched stuff with them, and I think the first few episodes were like the first 10 or 11 episodes, I think the Kickstarter episodes were still live streamed on Twitch by them.
Yep.
And we definitely started watching them together with our American friends. And in the meantime, I think second or third episode maybe, because we saw there was some people online and we just joined, I think. But I'm not sure. I couldn't say really.
Here's some lore for you, Harry.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first one?
Like the first one that like we ran. I
The
mean,
first watch
pretty
party.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It was quite wild. I mean, it was quite wild. Because that Shan
So-
does the thing.
We were the
Wait.
first two people to
Mhm.
turn our cameras on in the watch party.
Yeah.
Harry did it, and then I was like, well, I forget what I said. I said, all right, fine. If they mention spoons one more time, I'll go on camera so Harry's not by himself. They
Yes.
mentioned spoon because the only other people on camera were Ben and Holly because they were watching it together in the watch party.
Yeah.
So when
Mhm.
I came on, I remember they were all delighted that you were on. Everyone was hyped. Harry's on. Then I came on and Holly got all excited and she was like, "Oh, Ben went to the bathroom." And when Ben showed up, he was like he lit up and we were all so excited. So then everyone was like, "Oh, well then we'll all get on camera if like everyone's gonna
Yeah.
be so excited to see our faces." So that was fun. That was
The
a good
first
time.
watch party was it was very surreal. And again,
It
I
was
was going
very
into
weird.
it like not even expecting that like even anyone from the cast were joining.
No,
And it's
we
like
did not.
even up to now, it's really kind of like fun. You know, like say, you know, Holly or Alex or like Ben, you know, sometimes like hopping in a little bit beforehand.
Yeah.
Like it's super
I
cool
like when
how
they
kinda, like, a
lurk. I think it's funnier
open
when
things.
they come in during an episode. Like when episode 22 or whatever, when Ben
Yeah.
came in for 5 minutes and then left and nobody
Yeah.
even realized. Like 3 people noticed he was there, but he didn't do anything or say anything.
So
He
here's
just
how
watched
you
it and
know.
left.
So here's how you know that the Natural Six watch party is gonna be a good one. It's when like Harry the DM and Seb randomly join like
Mhm.
midway through.
Seb especially because he'll record stuff.
When Seb's in, like when like the thing is I try to get like not pay attention to who's in it because if Seb's in it, I'm like what's about to happen?
Bad
Big
things are
time.
afoot. Bad things are afoot. No, that's very
Yeah.
cool. That's something I've never asked you guys in like.
I honestly forgot about it because like it seems so normal now that like I forgot that it was like a funny little hee hee ha ha that it was me, Ben, Holly, and Harry on camera by ourselves for like 20 minutes. But it was really fun. It was like I mean it was the first episode, so it was super chill.
Yep.
Everyone was hanging out, goofing off. I think we were goofing off more than we were listening to the episode. All of us.
Oh yeah. I had
everybody.
the massive I had like a massive bottle of popcorn
Yeah.
and like
Oh, you had the bottle of popcorn.
The bottle
yeah,
of
the bottle of
popcorn.
popcorn and like the you know the kind of moment where like I was like I slightly debased myself a little bit because it was like
Mhm.
I'd attempted to because it was like this big massive like human sized popcorn bottle and like
Oh,
I
God.
tried to basically like I don't know like drink directly from it I guess just kind of
Yeah,
like pour
yes,
it
you
down and
did.
that went as well as you think that went as well as you thought. It wasn't until like episode, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 that I started doing the ironing bit.
Yeah.
And that's just turned into a thing ever since then, really.
Yep.
I
Yeah. I
remember
mean,
the
it's
popcorn.
part of the bit now.
Because I remember
Yeah.
you were plotting that for a minute. You were like, I think I'm going to bring this bottle of popcorn. And we
Yeah.
were like, oh, I guess, yeah, do it. I also didn't have this set up yet. So I was on my couch just chilling.
Slightly different.
The vibes were
Climbs.
different. Yeah.
Swinging back to Pat though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pat, how did you find role playing games in general, tabletop? You start with D&D. What? How did you?
The very first time that I played is so many years ago, I couldn't even remember the exact year, but maybe 2007 or 6 ish, because there was a summer event with in a there used to be this youth center where people could organize things, and some friends of mine organized this gaming event, and it was a lot of fun. And then after that, they asked me to join their game. No, that was 2009 actually. Yeah, because I remember I went away for a language course for 3 weeks to Finland, and they said they would not continue without me. They continued without me, so I never joined back. I I don't even remember what my character was or what we played because all of that's been purged from my mind by now. But that's when I brought my first dice set. I have way
Fabulous.
better dice sets by now and way better friends to play with. But then after that, I played a tiny little bit of Rogue Trader RPG
Mm.
in Finland when I was there for a trainee thing. Um, Again, that's like a game that they said I can join while I'm there for half a year, and then when I'm gone or whenever I'm back, I can join again because it's like a many years spanning game. Like it's the
Yeah,
Warhammer 40k universe. Of course,
it's
it's
been
gonna be
ages
possible.
since I've played any Warhammer tabletop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at a game store where we sold Warhammer and all kinds of Games Workshop stuff, all kinds of paints, not just Games Workshop paints, board games, tabletop RPG, books, minutes. So that was like a Nirvana store for me. Uh, but it was also not really a good fit for me because my paycheck went to utilities and then there. And then,
It's a dangerous thing to be working in a game store,
yep,
Pat.
very dangerous. But also, a little bit before that was when I was still working at Starbucks. Was when I joined the friend group of Kari and all that, and that's when I started playing Pathfinder First Edition, with the caveats that Kari mentioned, because it's
Mm-hmm.
never been a purely Pathfinder First Edition game. It was always like a mixture, um, and text based. And then the first time, like I then through them got into Critical Role and all that. Watched the same things that Kari's because we watched things together. So her in Germany, me here in Austria, and then the friends in the US. And then, as she mentioned, I random Facebook algorithm sent me to this group of wholesome D&D. Random person shared that they're starting a Discord server. I've barely ever used Discord before. I joined. Um, this one person from Norway said that, oh, they're going to do a one shot. I joined. It was awesome as hell. And that was the first time I played with video, but basically with voice and person. That was awesome as hell. And then when that person said they're going to start a long term campaign, that's when I invited Inkari. And for like 3 years, we had nearly uninterrupted every week session.
Whoa.
I know that
That's
is
That's
commitment.
good.
That's
hella
commitment.
rare, but then life happens, and one of the people who play got a job where the Sunday time that we used to do is not viable anymore. And I think for like a month now we haven't even played, which is weird. But for that, with some other people from the same group, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. So, and
Fabulous.
Kari played Split Fiction with the DM, so I was in that Discord call, and I enjoyed the hell out of it because it's so fun watching two of your friends play that. I can just recommend that game because it is awesome. And yes, there are feels, big feels.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that feeling of replicating that feeling of sitting with your friends on the sofa and playing sort of split screen or whatever is we can kind of do it now. It's
Mm-hmm.
there is nothing that quite replaces that. But yeah.
Though I have to say, I never really did the sofa thing because we never had a console at home. We only had a PC,
Mhm.
and I only ever played, as I said before, with what my brother had. And there were very few games that we could play together. And this was the time of old-timey computers like Windows 3.1 and stuff. And there was one game that we played on one keyboard.
With
Uh,
the sides, both sides of the keyboard.
Yeah, so one person used the space bar and the arrows, and the other person used Q, W, E, R, T, so
Mm-hmm.
that those buttons. And I was, of course, the one who used the ladder. I don't know if you know Dinah or Bomberman or something like that,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bomberman. Yep.
because that has a multiplayer version and it was so much fun. But yeah, other than that, I think, however, aside from these actual in-person games, my very first time, without even knowing it, playing D&D based games was Neverwinter Nights.
Aha. The first
Oh,
one or the second
awesome.
one?
First,
First one. Okay. Yeah.
my brother used to buy PC Gamer or GameStar, one of those magazines in Hungary,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those issues came with a free copy of the game. I think another
Aha.
issue of theirs had a complete playthrough with the maps written in the game, and that's how I played it through.
Yeah.
And
That's
I still love replaying it. Like a few years ago, I did another rerun, and for
yeah.
me,
The
that
first
is the
game.
classic.
First game is like top 10 games of all time for me.
For many people, Baldur's Gate 1 is the game that introduced them into the world of D&D games. For me, it was Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah, I was lucky to be able to play some of the gold box games beforehand, which were pretty cool. Very, very jank, very jank, but it was what you had
So,
at the time, right?
but
So favorite dice, Pat?
I've been thinking on this, and my answer is it varies. Because
Oh no, you've broken the system.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
'Cause
fine. Totally.
Terrible.
for a long time, I had a favorite dice, and it was the Critical Role dice set for Caduceus, who is a grave cleric. And I love the fact that the whole aesthetic of Caduceus, like mushrooms and all that, give me. And the D20 has a mushroom on the 20 side. And I used to use that for the game that we played with Kari. And the very first time I rolled a death saving throw in a D&D game, guess what the number was?
It's either 1 or 20.
It was a 1. And we were in a
Hey.
dungeon where at the end of your character's turn, if you're in the trap area, the trap hits you.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well,
Yeah, but
Oh.
we have a Tabaxi rogue in the group, so it was so fun to me when Six brought up the Tabaxi taxi, because we already had that in that game. Because the Tabaxi taxi brought me to safety. Our Grave Cleric Kari cast Spirit of Dying on me, and I was able to be revived soon after, but intense. So ever since then, I actually made a dice prison for that D20, which used to be my favorite. So I'm not that attached to dice anymore. Whatever
Wow.
I like most is currently it. And for now, it's something that I actually bought from Tabletop Dominion.
Heck yeah.
Not sure if you can see it. It's a chunk, but not the
Ooh.
largest chunk. It Not sure
It's
if it
very
I don't
nice.
think it picks up very well.
It's picking up fine. It's picking up fine.
It's picking
It's
up
got
fine.
eyes inside, moving eyes.
Ooh. Oh, very nice.
Is that the one you bought when you and I were at the booth at
No,
MCM?
I
Pat?
did not buy it then. I
Okay.
ordered this online. But yeah,
Very
this is
cool.
my Warlock D20 because she is a beholder's
Got to have the eyes in it, right? Yep.
person. Yeah, it has eyes, and I keep attempting to count the eyes, but it's so hard because the moving and all that is nah. Mm-mm. I should maybe look it up online because there's no way in hell I can focus on the individual eyes. Maybe I should look at, because each eye has a different color, so
Can I
that
can I
would
just
work.
ask?
Yeah.
Have you ever have you ever had, because oh my god, that experience that you just described with the rolling that one on your first ever death save. Have you ever had the experience of dying in session 1? Like genuinely?
No, thankfully.
Okay.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, it's
yes,
not
I
a fun
have
experience.
had the
I can
experience of dying
imagine.
in session 1.
Yeah.
But
That
I
because
have-
oh my god, that just gave me flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, I have had issues in that game because I'm
Lines and
and
veils,
all
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I thought I knew all of them of mine, but apparently not. There were some issues that I wasn't really aware of, but they came up in the game and I did not really handle them well. And
Hmm.
that was also partially about dying and all that, but I think I worked through most of them by now. So there was just a few very intense game sessions
Hmm.
after that. Not just because of this, but some other issues came up. So yeah, people say that D&D is kind of like therapy and it is not supposed to be treated that way, but it brought up things that I had to work on outside of game to be able to enjoy the game again. So
Oh. Yeah, no, that makes
experiences.
sense. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely one of the very vulnerable, like revealing things about kind of like tabletop
Yeah.
and that kind of those kind of like role playing experiences.
Like I thought I was over some things, I was not. I didn't know I had these issues. I had them, so it was like okay, eye-opening to the max.
Hope, yeah. Well, hope you're doing better with those kind of aspects
I
now.
think I
Nowadays.
am.
Cool. Brilliant. Yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like changing the subject, but also, what's your favorite number? Now you've got to have a hard choice. You've got to have a specific choice for this one. We'll let you get away with the dice question, but you have to choose favorite number. You have to choose one. It doesn't have to be between 1 and 20. Any number. Pick a number. As long as you've got a justification for it, we're happy.
I have several.
No, I'm not letting you have multiple.
Just
This
pick
one you have to
just
lock
pick
into
one,
one of
Pat.
them. You have to lock into one of them.
I've
Or roll a
always been
d3.
partial to 4.
Okay. That's
4
good.
it
That's
is.
cool. Yeah, 4 it is. That's elegant.
4 it is.
Any reason for number 4?
I it's an
Four-sided clover. There you go.
it's
Boom.
not really, but it's an even number. That's part of it.
Mhm.
But also it's like so symmetrical and there's a feeling to it.
That's good. That's
A
good.
feel.
4 has a
I
feeling
like,
to it.
I like this. I like this.
I
Pat.
don't know.
That's honest. No, that's good, honest reasoning.
Cool. Any other questions for Pat before we move on?
I don't think so. I thank you so much, Pat, for joining us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
Brilliant.
Very exciting. All right. Quick review of last podcast. Few comments there. I think Martina finally managed to make it through the episode after our 4-hour marathon.
Yay.
And Short Trek had some dark eye vibes, which was cool. But I think that's about it.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Cool stuff.
Oh, Nebworth was picked up, Shan, by Mr. T as
What?
well. Nebworth.
Mr. T?
Mr. T.
I'm confused.
So you mentioned Nebworth from the film that you watched,
Phil.
the Robbie Williams.
Oh yeah, the
biopic.
Robbie
The Better Man.
Right.
Better Man. Yes.
Better Man. Yep.
Love Better Man.
And Andrew knows of the Nebworth.
Yes.
Yes.
I had
Cool.
to think about that for a second. It's like, what's a
I
Nebworth?
just watched that today because I started noon. I started
It's
work
great,
at noon.
right?
And
The monkey
I-
works, right?
And I did not remember net worth, the word.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie. I watched the part of the podcast.
Oh, I see. Got it.
No,
got
I
it.
didn't.
Okay. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
More people should watch Better Man.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
The monkey works.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
I feel like Shan and I are on a similar wavelength when it comes to cinema. So yes, it does work.
I have a very wild, like, I'll watch almost anything, but like I tend to watch the good stuff mostly, or the stuff that is at least fun.
Very good. There's a detailed comment from Kenneth, which we can maybe reference later on. He's got some
I have
dang.
to go back and read the comments. I
opinions,
never actually went and
shall
read
we say.
them.
Uh-oh.
I usually read them.
Are these good
yes.
opinions, bad opinions?
Are
just
we in trouble?
opinions. Just opinions.
Opinions? Okay, neutral opinions.
Just opinions.
Okay.
All right. I think we can move on to news, guys.
Yes.
The natty six news.
Boy, it's a big month.
Yeah.
As the top of the monthly update for May says, biggest month yet, or busiest month yet, in fact. Pretty crazy. Shan knows all about PAX East happening this Thursday.
Yep.
Where, Shan, you will be present.
I will be. All 4
In
days.
the flesh. So go and see Shan at
I've
PAX
got
East.
some presents.
I need to ask, are these written in are the PAX East times written for UK or are they written in local time?
I believe they're local time.
No, those are all US Eastern. Yes.
Yes.
Yes! I might be able to watch the live show then. Good.
See, I
Great.
will say I did have a little bit of a, well, that's a bummer that like our con gets the panel streamed, but when they go to other cons, we just have to watch everyone tell us what it was about.
Harry, that's like a 1:30 a.m. start.
Wait, is it AM? Oh, fudge.
It is,
It's
in fact, it's late at
it's-
night here.
It's 8:30 p.m. till
8:30
till
to
10:30 p.m.
10:30
So it's like a
Oh, dang.
1:30
It's because
AM start.
panels
Yeah,
at
I'm not gonna
American
watch that.
conventions, I don't know about at the big UK ones, but a lot of the big US and probably small ones, but I only really go to big ones. If they anticipate a panel will be filled with adult content, your panel will be much later in the day. Depending. It depends on what it is.
It's very US. Yep.
It's a very because you're less likely to have kids that will wander into your panel. If it's at a certain time of night, like 18 plus panels, things like that will typically be held at night. If I assume they were warned, but yeah, so it probably also is because of like PAX is a lot of like demos and games and reveals and things like that. So like nighttime is probably the best time that they can get, simply because a lot of the big ticket items are going to be when there's more people at the convention.
Yeah, I think on that little point about just like the stuff being streamed, like I'm sort of of the perspective like I'd love for the MCM stuff to get streamed as well, because it's like,
yeah, it would be nice.
like MCM and PAX again, they all fall under the same, I believe, the same like family of people who run them.
All
and
owned
it's-
by the
Overall,
same guys.
yes. Overall, yes. I don't know if they're run by the same teams though, simply
I would-
because that's
They're
over in the
regional.
UK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would highly doubt
Yeah.
it.
I would
I'd
highly,
highly
doubt it based
doubt
on what you guys have told me about how it's organized. I don't think
just-
the US team would like a lot of the stuff you guys tell me about.
I mean,
the
it's just
UK
a
ones.
fundamentally different convention too, right?
Yeah.
Like PAX is much more gaming focused, as you said,
Yeah.
Shan.
Yeah.
So-
Well, they also own New York Comic Con, which is more in line with MCM.
Yeah, no, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pat,
Look.
you were gonna ask a question.
I just wanted to contribute to that because I remember you guys talking about this at MCM last October,
Mhm.
how it's the organizers, like it should be, in my mind, possible to get some setup because they did record.
They filmed it at the first one. Yeah.
But that was with the technical issues. However,
Yeah.
they did manage to record the Baldur's Gate 3 panel. not panel, game, live show.
Mhm.
So they have the technology. Why not apply it to another live game show?
I think at
It
the end of
just
the
boggles my
day,
mind.
it comes down, Pat, to money,
Well, yeah,
right?
because that's
And
why I thought it was more
and who's
shocking was the fact that
who's
they did it
present, right?
once. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It was, to me, it was more the, not even comparing it to other panels from that same
Mm.
year. It was that they had just filmed the last time. They had it
Yeah.
available for them the last time. And then they do it again, and all of a sudden, despite being on a big
think that-
stage, we didn't film it again.
I think
And
that might
then,
have to
you
do
know.
with the fact that the first one was so badly recorded and they didn't want to repeat that. But then again, they have the technology there. They managed to record the other.
Yeah, but that's
live game
Baldur's
show.
Gate.
It is,
Yeah.
and it was also on the main stage, so it'll be different
Yeah.
this time because we're
Because I
gonna
remember
be.
being big bummed out because people were referencing it to me, and I was like, I'm not in the UK. I didn't watch
Yeah,
it.
I
I can't watch
mean,
it. What do you,
you-
why would you?
If you didn't go, you didn't go, right?
Yeah, it's you missed out, and it's like I can't go to a UK convention. I'm poor.
And there was, and to be honest, there was nothing. I mean, there were anecdotes there, but
Yeah.
there was nothing earth-shattering, shall we say?
And the most fun parts was Ben's ad read. I think there's
Yes,
enough
he did do an
recordings
ad
of that,
read. He did do a live ad read. Yes,
and there's enough
Oh,
recordings
gosh.
of that. I think.
there are
to go
recordings of that live ad read in the channel from or in the thread from last October. Yes.
Never
But-
fret, Shan. You're going to probably get an ad read. You're probably going to get an ad read.
Well,
if
so
they
will
go
everybody
live
else because it
stream.
will be live streamed.
Yes.
Well,
we'll see. We'll see
maybe
what,
what they
happens
should do is they
for
should
this
just
year
turn-
with it being
they
on the
should-
center stage, right?
Yeah.
Wait, this
Sorry, Harry.
is.
Maybe what they should do is
Okay.
just turn off the live stream for the ad read only, and then
Yeah.
like
Patreon. Join our Patreon for the ad read. You can't
No.
watch it here.
Yeah, I think honestly, honestly, like from the production kind of perspective, it benefits like everyone. It also benefits the production of the content for keeping it sort of consistent. To want to have even the stuff like the live shows kind of be recorded. I think one other thing that also comes down to is again the sort of the soundproofing situation, as well, because again, like it was back in MCM October, the situation with the sort of soundproofing for that was like kind of similar to the EGX from beforehand. Whereas when I went to the main stage for the Baldur's Gate one, like they had a lot of a different setup going there. So like
Yeah, I mean,
I think
it's a
in a
fundamentally
nutshell-
different. It will be a fundamentally different thing this time. Yeah.
in a nutshell, I think like MCM, hey, you probably have cameras, or it's like it's probably not like that much in the grand scheme of things to get another camera, and maybe improve some of the audio quality situations. So like you should do that if there's a manager for MCM watching this. Which hey, if you are, thank you,
Press
but please
X to
get
doubt.
cameras in there because that would be nice.
Slashed out.
Would be nice. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff happening at PAX East, of course. I don't believe we will get the Serving Cantrip live stream because that's on a completely different stage.
That's
They haven't
exclusive.
said anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be your
that's the only
exclusive
one they
streams.
mentioned was streamed was the one shot.
So we'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
Some basically what will happen for PAX from a streaming perspective is that the cameras and audio will be turned on when the con opens, and you will have a 9 or 10 hour.
Yeah, it basically just
long-
streams the stage.
Yeah, it's just stream the stage the whole time.
Yeah,
Right? So we'll see how it all goes.
because they did the 16 panel was in a forget what room it was in last year, but they live streamed that as well. But Square Enix is usually on top of live streaming their or making sure their stuff is live
Making
streamed.
sure their stuff is available, right?
Yeah, so
Very cool.
it'll be a good time. Smasher Pass will be good.
It will be. It will be.
Yeah.
Get your sleep in, Natural Six Screw, because I like
For
going
once,
from that.
we will be catered to for once.
Yay!
Yes. The North American audience will be catered to.
Yes.
Harry, we will not be watch partying this at 1:30 a.m., will we?
Hey, if y'all want
Um,
to, I think I might join y'all from the.
So now
From the
that
show floor.
So here's the thing. Now that it's theoretically possible, the answer is potentially maybe, but I literally have to leave at midday or midday of the 10th to go back home. So what genuinely might happen, we might have the most insane live stream ever, which I'm pitching this right now. This is a live
Packing
Podcast
live
special.
stream?
No, not a packing live stream. I'm talking, I put my camera on. I put my camera. I put the stream on. Or even I don't put the stream on. I'll be there. I'll be asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's sleeping in the back. Like
Do we
those
have a live Harry
streamers.
sleeping stream? Is this the next like evolution?
That
I think what
is-
would fit into the whole ironing theme would be if you were doing the packing your suitcase. Like you ironed before and now you're packing.
If my mum knows that I'm packing my suitcase at 1:30 a.m.,
Yeah,
she would be
I
very
understand.
disappointed in me.
I understand.
That's my MO though.
Oh,
I
Harry.
think I
Harry.
definitely want to do it though. I think we should definitely. It would be nice to do something for it or have like the Discord call going for it. I'm not sure about like physically streaming the thing because I think what's going to be really like helpful is seeing a lot of Twitch viewership sort of happen on the thing, and I wouldn't
True.
want
Yeah,
what
yeah. I
we do
mean,
to cannibalize.
yeah. I
from
mean,
that.
rebroadcasting it would be a no-no. That's for sure. Yeah.
But just
I'll
be in
put the
watch
event
party
up.
group.
We'll see what happens. Well, let's see what happens.
All right.
Let's see if I am able to do that because on Saturdays I'm always going training and oh dear.
Yep.
That's gonna
That'll be
interesting.
2:30 a.m. start for you, Pat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have to get
Um,
up at 9 a.m. latest to be able to do the
Oh, I just
at 10 a.m.
realized.
I will be passing on that because I will have to be getting up at 6:30 or 7 a.m. to get to the pool on Saturday morning. All right, cool. Yeah, lots of cool convention stuff happening. Of course, we have, as we are recording this, Action Surge 28 has gone live.
I have to put it on.
We need to catch up with my Claxes actually.
Same. Don't even worry about it.
Do that on Thursday. And it was dropped during the cantrip, which I have watched about half, I think. I watched a bit of it on the plane when I came back from Boston last week. That there's a special Elowin. There's not an Elowin's diary, but an Elowin's memories.
Yay!
I apparently will understand, according to Holly.
Yeah.
So, cool. I think that's it, guys.
You sure about that?
At least news wise.
I mean I see the second thing there. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we
Good
got this
segue.
like very nice segue, Shan. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure if you were like that's all the news, and I was like, hold on,
Hold on. We
wait a
we
second,
have
I'm confused.
we have some.
We're going to.
we have some.
We're gonna
items here.
we're gonna have a second T-shirt to wear for these podcasts,
Third, fourth, even
or third,
Fourth.
arguably.
fourth. You could have up to 4 now. Well, soon.
What is the third then?
It's the red.
Oh,
shirt
that
with
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you can see
It's
them
gonna
here.
be
The
easy
two
for me to
versions,
pack
right?
for London because I'm going to wear this and I'm not bringing any other t-shirt with me. I'm gonna buy the t-shirts which I'm going to wear on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that is
I wish I could buy them in
very.
person. Because I'm stressed about this.
I'm
one
not
thing.
sure I'm gonna be able to pull through it. I
That's-
most likely will.
That's
pack
very
something in case.
confident of you, Pat. That they will not be. That you'll be there in sufficient time to get
Well,
them. But
Someone did
Yeah.
offer.
That's a plan or a hope more like.
Yeah,
someone did offer, Shan.
Someone offered to, if Holly allowed me, to get a couple of things to send back with a friend of mine who will be there. And I'm deciding if I want to take them up on that offer. Because originally I was just going to ask for the MCM item. But I don't know if I will do that because I don't know if it will fit. now that we know that the MCM item is a sick embroidered jean jacket. So I'm debating because I'm nervous about the merch drop this time because more people are physically planning to be around, and I would like my goodies, especially because I didn't get dice in the Kickstarter. I couldn't have justify it at the time, and I would like some dice.
Yep.
I can justify it this time because I know what I'm about. I know what I'm about, son. So, I would like, and Holly, here's part of the news. I'm segueing again. More sizing for the shirts. There's now 3Xs
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
now
And
triple XL.
I would love a roomier shirt because like the 2Xs fit and I like them, but it's nice to have a little bit more room. So like, I would like to be able to get my size because I can't wear a lot of the other sizes. And I'm just nervous about it. I'm nervous about it. I'm more nervous about it than I was last time, which was crazy because I got literally everything I went in there for, and I'm still more nervous this time.
Well, we'll chat in the green room,
Yeah.
Shan, and you can let us know what you desire. Yeah. So this will be. Was there a backer shirt?
No.
No, there was
It
no backer
was-
shirt. So the cast have their own special shirts.
You got
Yeah,
it.
the cast.
There was a
bag.
bag.
backers-
Yep.
This is my
Yeah.
con bag. That's why it was so easily accessible. There was postie card
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
signed by everybody.
Mhm.
A pin which is on my jean jacket. So I can't show it to you, but it's just the natural this. Like
The
natural
big-
6, this.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
it
yep.
glows in the dark and says Kickstarter backer on the back. And that was like the lowest physical goods. There was also the dice, the coin,
Yeah.
the
if
deck
you
of many
were
friends.
In a higher tier, right? Yeah.
Yes. So like there was stuff for higher. I just couldn't justify it at the time. But all the t-shirts and stuff, that's specifically theirs until recently.
So then there has been the white T-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
which was available at MCM,
Yes.
and there was of course the one that we're all rocking at the moment, apart from Shan, I think.
Yeah, because
Um,
I didn't take time to change. I'm gonna sell my work shirt.
You have the siren.
We're not sponsored.
It's green. You can't see it, so it's fine. We're safe.
We're not sponsored. And then I guess there'll be the 2 new ones, as you say.
Yes.
So there'll
The
be
2
4
different.
and
I love
4
the
in
red
total.
one. I look really good in red. I went to Temple University. Our color was cherry, so I definitely. Okay, girlfriend. Sorry, the cat jumped away and it was very loud and shook the whole desk. I would like the red. I look good in red and I like the red. I want both shirts. I want everything. It's a great merch drop. Except maybe stickers because I'm always afraid to use my stickers.
Yeah,
My
when they
natural,
end
oh,
up.
that's the other thing I have. Wait, I did forget there was another merch. Because I'm afraid to use it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The big
Harry's
sticker.
got his on the.
Yeah, he has
got
his
mine
on
on
his
my
mic. I just
Yeah, I'm
never.
always
I'm afraid to put it on something. I almost want to take inspiration from Doug and put it on my magic keyboard.
Oh, okay.
His
His is on his iPad.
But didn't he put it
Or his,
on somewhere
Mac.
else? In,
No,
like, the
that's a
promo
character
thing?
sticker. That's different.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
That's
We're
different.
talking about Doug with stickers.
I am
His
tempted.
natural 6
Huh?
sticker is on his device that he uses at the table.
Yeah, the one he used at the table. Got it.
Yes.
Great, brilliant.
Yeah, I am tempted to get. So there are a variety of companies here in the UK that allow you to do branded microphone windscreens. So I had the thought potentially of trying to convince Holly that I could get the branded windscreen with Natural 6 on the microphone.
That would be funny.
There'd be one I think you could use the more round style, Harry. You could get that over top of your
I have a round
lovely
Yeah.
Yeti.
because I have
mean-
a regular microphone.
If we needed like a custom design, we know. If we need a custom design, we know who would happily do one for us, right?
Mhm.
No, Shan.
Who?
We'll get onto it later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. No, I'm just scared of the
Yep.
answer to that question. That's all.
So
Foreshadowing is a literary device where
you can buy some of the you can buy some of these items at MCM
Yes.
at the end of May, and things go live on the 30th.
Not at
Excuse me.
PAX because of legal tax and other crazy reasons.
Oh yes. One does
Yes.
not mess with importing goods into the United States.
Into the United
Oh.
States in this climate, in
At
this economy.
this point in time. And with that, we will move swiftly on.
Yes.
I'm
Even
that dice.
before, it would have been really hard before as well. Is the
Yeah,
thing.
Can
no,
I
no,
just
no, no.
say
I mean-
that
Yeah.
I am incredibly happy that your dice bag arrived as fast as it did and without
Right at the
issue.
right time, because that's probably why Harry's gift was late, because I ordered it from a
Oh.
UK seller in Amazon, and it was
Uh-huh.
supposed to be here Tuesday. It said Tuesday, and it insisted it was Tuesday, and it got stuck at customs for a week because everybody is rush ordering before.
Yeah, trying to get everything
things, yep.
before things happen.
But just because there was somebody else in the Discord group that I sent something to, and it took them the US Post, 2 weeks to get it from a city to her. That is 1 hour from her.
Yeah, and it was also tax season, so like it's my
It was like a
Liddy
month
from the
before
server
I
works
sent
for the
it to
post
you.
office. Yeah, well, I don't know. Everything's kind of
it's
the
a crazy
post
time.
office. Post office is one of the systematically like dysfunctional on purpose. Not their fault. It's not the U.S. Postal Service's fault, but there's always something wrong with it because there are some people who would like it gone. So I like my postal service. I like my postal service.
I can appreciate
Yes.
Yeah.
living in the UK. I can appreciate a good
I love
postal
the
service.
National Postal Service. Yes.
Right. It's time. For doing lately.
Oh gosh, yeah, it is.
It sure is.
Pat.
That was me tapping.
Tap,
That was a
tap.
ASMR tap from
I
Shan.
always, you know me, guys. I gotta be tapping the desk or I
Tapping the
die.
desk.
You know.
Pat, what have you been doing lately?
I have been doing lately. Baldur's Gate 3.
Hmm?
I think I mentioned that a bunch already. I am occasionally playing some other games as well, like some survival games, which is the other kind that I like. Lately, mostly Once Human. And I have this thing for months now that I'm not gonna get any new games until I finish another one that I have. And I got this only because it's for free. It's an 80 gig game, 80 gigabytes game, a huge open world PvE. I never really done any of those games, but it's fun even playing by myself, even though I could play with others and then we could do big boss fights together. It's incredibly imaginative and yeah. So as for video games, that's that. But I also on my phone, whenever I'm on my way somewhere or something, Stardew Valley. Yeah. And otherwise, I craft. I make things.
Yes, you can check out Pat's latest projects in the art channel on the Discord.
Yeah,
There
I
are
mean,
several.
I have not posted much in the fan art yet. Lately, I still have to finish and Ellie and Kelnis the cross
The cross stitch.
I have started, but I'm still making little views owls for on them. So, but other than that, I lately also made for my beholder warlock. I decided that for an invocation is what they're called, I think. Yeah. At level 7, I was able to take Book of Shadows, which means that I can cast spells ritually. And I was debating for a long time and then decided on Find Familiar. And as for Find Familiar, I talked with Kari, she agreed because it's just purely aesthetic reasons that she conjured up a miniature beholder. It does nothing like a beholder does, it just looks like one.
We
So
love
of course I
it.
had to make it. And since December I have an electric oven again because I use an old-timey gas oven which cannot burn, like they burn at 150 degrees Celsius, the lowest, and polymer clay has to be 130 degrees Celsius maximum. Otherwise there's fumes and stuff which are toxic. So I baked myself a little beholder, painted it.
Oh my gosh!
I love
Wow.
it. I love it so much.
On the last watch party, we had a beholder love fest. It was great. Everyone had their beholders out.
There he is.
Oh my
And I
gosh!
painted it up the way that I did all my
Wow.
other beholders before, which is like, as I said, I did the eyes in different colors because of the different rays, and I have a dice bag that I crocheted out of that's a beholder, and I have several other beholders.
Beholder items.
Such a
Yeah,
cool mini.
and some that I have gotten from Etsy 3D printed but not painted yet. Yeah.
Does the beholder?
So this is what I've been making.
Does the beholder have any pull for you, Shan?
They're cool. They're the eye guys, right?
They are.
Yeah.
the
What do you think
icons.
the eye guys
Yeah.
do, Shan? What do you think they do?
Well,
think
if
they
I
work?
think about the name,
Uh huh.
beholder, that can
Mhm.
mean a lot of things, right? Because, like, you could try and control people.
Okay.
You can try and look into their soul. You can behold them.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So, like, if you're covered in eyes, I assume it has something to do with looking,
Yeah, that too.
beholding, perhaps.
There
Yeah.
is
Pretty much.
the big central eye usually
Yeah.
that is that has its own ability. Like in a cone from that,
Mhm.
there's an anti-magic field,
Mm.
so mages can go and hide and not
Mhm.
do anything. And then there's 10 eye stalks with an eye that can shoot a different ray.
Mm.
And as I said, there's disintegrate, there's hold person, there's telekinesis, there's fear, there's like a death ray.
Mm.
And I believe that the DM, the person controlling, has to roll because it's not decided by the DM, I think, which ray is gonna happen now. So, but it can shoot, I think, up to three per round. It's very difficult because, as Kari always mentions in our games, if you DM a beholder correct, then there's no way the party is gonna defeat it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a beholder is mega dangerous.
It's a
Like
classical
mega
monster,
mega
paranoid.
dangerous.
which is why
Yeah.
it was on the cover of the 2014 Monster Manual.
Mm.
It's a classic, and I actually have the beholder, the Monster Manual design on a mousepad that is covered in crafting stuff right now.
I
Yes,
remember
there is
correctly,
a
like-
kind of smaller version, which is the Spectator, which has
Mm.
4, 6 eyes.
4, and that's what we meet in Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm.
I just recently did that encounter on honor mode difficulty, and holy hell.
If you're not ready, yeah, I mean, if you're not ready for it, then it's
Yeah, because I've only played with lower difficulty settings, and I didn't realize that the high level difficulty is not only do you only have one save file, but the encounters are also much more difficult.
more
But
difficult.
yeah. So that's what I've been doing lately, playing and crafting
Cool.
and adoring the cat.
Adoring.
Yeah, she's doing her claws into my chair.
Yeah.
Whoop.
I
Oh.
clip my cat's nails, and yeah. So I
Fabulous.
know the feeling. I
Mm.
realize when I have to clip them, and that's when they do this, and it hurts.
Yeah.
Nice segue to Shan.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been up to, Shan?
Oh my god. Audio listeners.
Just
Who would have
this.
thought?
Audio
Just
listeners.
this.
Audio listeners. Shan is holding this to the screen.
I am holding the Lumiere edition of Expedition 33 for my PS5.
Wowzers.
I'm not playing it on my PS5, but I am a defender and proponent of physical media ownership, and so I did buy this game. Perhaps early contender for Game of the Year 2025. Especially as more and more people play this game, and more people talk about how crazy good this game is, developed by just about 30 people. Insanity happening here. The composer, they found him on SoundCloud, or no, Reddit. Yeah, the writer found her on Reddit. Like the guy who like the head developer, he was just bored at Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And then they came up with what could be the greatest game of the year. I have played this almost nonstop because I wanted to get past what I heard was the biggest twist before I went to PAX. I didn't want to go to PAX with this thing hanging over my head. Thankfully, I did surpass it. It is insane. This game, I knew I was going to like it. There is no words for how much I have found myself loving this game. Everything about it, the characters, the music, the visuals, the gameplay. Like, yeah, I get frustrated and I get stuck sometimes, but like, I have not once thought about putting this game down. Like, it is so good. Controversial yet brave. I like Verso more than I like Clive Rossfield.
Ooh.
I think, no, listen. Now, Doc's going to know exactly what I'm, like, not what I'm going to say. Because here's the thing. It's really hard to talk about what makes this game great from a lot of standpoints without spoilers. So I won't be going into detail about anything specific.
You gotta. Well, maybe we'll do a spoiler cast.
Yeah,
Shan, and
I'll
just
be
talk
happy
about
to.
just talk about when you're back from PAX.
Yeah,
maybe before MCM when we've both finished it.
Yeah. What I will say to that effect, it's kind of incredible how great social media has been about spoilers for this game. And it might be because it just came out, but usually when a game just comes out, spoilers everywhere.
Yeah, there's some idiot who's Yeah.
However, because there are so many major turns, I think everyone has recognized you need to let people go into this game blind. If as you play the game too, and you look at the Claire Obscure Twitter account, they're not even tweeting about certain things that you learn early in the game, which is great. Like, very little Verso content. He doesn't come into Act 2. I will not say why. I will not say anything about that. But like, he's a third of the way into the game. They barely talk about him because, like, if you get too far in this game, everything is spoilers. Literally everything is spoilers. There are so many like insane reveals in this game. And so it's really hard to talk about the depth to which this game works. The story, the characters. There's so much, like, I can talk about how much I love all the characters, what I love about each of them. I could not tell you how it relates to the story. It would give too much away. It's insane how that works, but the fact that like everyone's doing a really great job of spoiling no one. And so every time I see my friends playing the game on my Discord, I have to ask them where they are because I do not want to ruin the experience that I'm having for somebody else because my God, like the Expedition 33 channel, which by the way, everyone's really great about tagging spoilers. We all have to tell each other where we are before we say a spoiler. But it's like every time somebody gets to like at the end of Act 1 or the end of Act 2, the amount of what that you'll see anywhere, it's great. Because nobody's spoiling it for everybody, so everybody's surprised. But
everyone gets their free welcome to Shadowbringers moment.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And everything is Shadowbringers. Everything is welcome. That's the thing about Expedition 33. Everything is welcome to Shadowbringers. But there is Verso is such a fascinating character for many reasons. Like I said, can't go into, but it's very funny to me how they've described him. Especially like you'll see Ben talk about him now, it makes it even funnier. But like they're like, oh, he's mysterious and he's dangerous, and then shows up. He's the softest soft boy I've ever met. He just knows how to use a sword real good. It's very funny. It's such a great character, full of so much gentleness and kindness, but also can use a sword real good. And to that effect, the reason this game means so much to me, this is a game that, and this is not a spoiler, you can guarantee this was going to come up because of the concept of the game. Every year a number gets put on the monolith. Everyone above that number, gone. Wiped off the face of the earth. They are dead. They are gone. They can't come back. And so this game deals heavily with grief, the inevitability of an end, what we can do to fight to stop that end. So you can tie it to climate change. You can tie it to any political movement that marches us to an end. But you can also talk about like illness and death to that effect as well. And so the way this game handles grief, the inevitability of loss, the inevitability of death, and how what do you do in these situations, or what do you choose to do, and how do the people around you help you through that, is so incredible. I have cried so many times, many of them because of Ben and Verso, but not all of them are sad tears, but there are a lot of like cathartic, really. It's like this game came out 1 day shy of the 4th anniversary of my dad's death, 4-month anniversary of my dad's death. And so this, like, a lot of it hits very close to home, and it's still like, but it's so good. And it's like, really, there's some things that'll be said. Verso says a lot of really great things to that effect, going like about loss and things like that. So it's a great game emotionally. The writing is great. Like, I have very little to complain about in this game. It's so good. I think it lives up to the hype. Clearly everyone else is. They just announced they sold 2 million copies in 12 days. Which is insane. And mostly word of mouth. It's mostly because the initial sales were like 500,000 units. And now they're already at 2 million from that. So, incredible stuff. Cannot recommend it enough. The turn-based really works. The action moments really work. It is a stunning achievement and I'm scared what that means for them, since if this is their first game and it comes so strong out the gate, I'm worried people won't give them.
Bar is high now.
The bar is incredibly high for Sandfall. But
Sandfall
Interactive is the name of the developer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It is a stunning achievement for a first game from a studio with 30 odd people working on this game. An incredible achievement. And I cannot wait. And a dog. I almost forgot the dog. There's a dog on the development team. The dog shows up in paintings in the game. It's great.
Okay, great.
So this game means a lot to me already. I am in Act 3. I am not finished. But I do hope I get to talk to Ben a little bit this weekend about it. Because it is very important to me. And I'd be interested to see if it stays that way, but I think this is one of those things that came out. It's a game that came out for me at the right time. And I'm so glad that it's resonating with everybody, because this game is phenomenal. And I've heard the ending is good, so fingers crossed. I have no doubt that they managed to stick everything else. This is a monumental achievement. A monolithic. I won't say that. That means something different. but it is funny. But yeah, it's a great game, great stuff. Ben Starr, great. I think, you know what? I think if he got nominated and won Game of the Year for this over Clive Rossfield, I would say that is correct. I think he doesn't. I think this is a much
performance of the year.
chewier. Yeah, this is a much chewier role for him, I think, than Clive Rossfield was.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to finish the game, but yeah,
he's got more to chew
Yeah.
on. He's much more complicated.
it's very different. He also
Yes.
plays about 12 or 14 other people.
the drunk guy at the drunk expeditioner.
There's a whole bunch
Have
of
a drink with me.
there's a whole bunch of other characters he plays. as
I
well.
haven't found the only one I instantly recognized as him was the drunk expeditioner right at the beginning.
Oh, there's
He's
a
like,
whole bunch in the
"Gustav,
there's a
come
whole
have
bunch
a
in the
drink with me."
there's a whole bunch in the prologue that he's also playing. Yeah,
Well, because he's done a drunk voice so much on Natural Six that it stuck out immediately. I was like, my friend messaged me, my friend who does not want, he's like, "Hey, I found Ben playing an NPC. I think it's the NPC you told me about." And I was like, yeah. But great stuff. Which they dropped a teaser of his character in Date Anything. The Dorian, the door.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. But I'm sure it's delightful.
It was delayed quite a long
Yes, till June now.
Yeah.
time, right? So
Delayed
Yes,
to
so
Pride Month.
June.
anyway,
Delayed to Pride Month. So, yeah, that's pretty much. I put other stuff on there, but
I do.
all I
have
really
one
want to
question.
talk about is Expedition 33. 'Cause it's all I've done.
I think we'll do the spoiler cast, but we got to finish the game first.
Yes.
I have
yeah.
one question for the Expedition
Yes.
33 is
The
how many
Expeditioners.
yeah how many cosplays of Expedition 33 characters are you gonna see at PAX
I
or
doubt we'll see.
MCM?
I mean, maybe more later this year. Because like I said, like it was an anticipated game by gamers. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a huge, you know.
The
I do think we'll
aesthetic-
see them. The aesthetic
aes-
is excellent.
The aesthetic is such that,
Excellent.
and Shan knows that there are many outfits, including some
Yes.
very entertaining outfits.
I put Minoko in a suit, and it is the greatest. It's the only optional outfit anyone
Shan?
has.
Yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
he's in a suit.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say something very funny.
What?
MCM October.
You might get more than I would. You might
MCM
get more.
October.
You might get
October.
more than you would at MCM May.
MCM October. It's the battle between the
Oh God. Oh no. Go
the-
on.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
maybe put the
You
Spoliers
can do
tag
it.
up for Final Fantasy
Oh
16.
God.
No, we're gonna move on. Otherwise, we're gonna be here till 2 hours.
No.
in the what-
All I want to say, Joshua
what we're doing lately.
cosplayers versus Expedition 33 cosplayers. Who's gonna win in MCM October? How many are you gonna see?
Expedition.
Who's gonna win the
33.
battle?
Expedition 33 for sure.
100%.
Right. Moving swiftly on. Harry,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
what you
Let's
been up
talk
to?
about what you're doing. Yeah.
So in complete contrast, so I know we talked about this last time. I want to get this out of the way. We were talking about this about how I should totally get Expedition 33, right? So I got both.
They were recommending each other's games.
They
So-
recommended each other's games, so I
Yes,
feel
they
more
did.
valid about this. As I played the 100 line, I am now more incredibly feeling like it is wild that that the Expedition 33 devs also recommended playing this game because like how long have you been playing Expedition 33 for in roughly approximately hours?
I could probably check that for you right now because I know.
Check that right now.
You can check
Yeah.
it on Steam.
I'm pulling it up right now because Steam was actually still open.
I think I'm
Library.
pushing
46.1.
50.
46.1. Wow. I don't know where you were at about approximately half of that, but I'm currently 20 hours into the 100 line, and I'm still in the prologue. So,
So,
Oh, boy.
for the record, gamers and listeners, Expedition 33's main story can be played in a roughly 30 hours with 30 hours. Like, I think
I
they
don't
said
know.
up to 80 of additional content.
I don't know how you would play it in only 30.
I can't play this in 30. You have to be really good at RPGs and not care about any of the story or any exploration.
I mean,
Skipping all
I
of
think
the
if you
Ben
played it on
cutscenes.
you'd have to play it on easy.
yeah, on story
and,
mode, yeah.
And but
They said Ken, so that's a
yeah.
yeah.
Go on, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 hours in the prologue.
So I'm 20 hours in. I'm still in the prologue. There has not been a single choice that has happened yet, and it's weird. It's weird. Like
Oh, look
so
at this
the best way
game.
I can describe this. No, this game is supposed to have 100 routes and 100 endings
I
in them.
remember.
And I've not seen a single ending yet. Like, I thought it's like, okay, it's about surviving 100 days. We're not going to survive the 100 days. We're going to have to go back and do time loops to get to the end and try and survive. Nope, we're just going. Every single fudging day has happened. We have done every single day. I am 75 days in. There's the same announcement every single time, but he says the number different every single time, and I have spent 20 hours just getting through effectively this prologue. Now, stuff happens in the story, don't get me wrong. There's lots of like weird and interesting twists that are already happening like in the story, etc., etc. But here's the thing, because I've played a lot of Kodaka and Uchikoshi games previously, they're all the Act 1 twists. And I'm 20 hours in. They're like, oh, like the moon's haunted. And I'm like, you've done Moon's Haunted before.
Moon's haunted.
This is, come on. I haven't even seen the game's flowchart yet. I know there's a flowchart button, because someone has mentioned that there's a flowchart button. Because every friggin' game, every Uchikoshi game has a flowchart button. But I don't get to see the flowchart button until I see the credits for the first time. And I've been playing this game for 20 hours, and it's still not there yet. But what I will say, again, this is really fun kind of contrast. There have been 2 moments in the game where I genuinely considered dropping the game, because like there were 2 writing things that got very annoying for me. They ended up twisting that upon its head and kind of like making me be like, okay, you bought yourself some time, but please stop fudging around. I'm on day 75. We are still kind of fudging around, but I think it seems it's a very different format to anything either of them have ever like written, which is like interesting and cool on that kind of aspect. It's got the best way I can describe this game that everyone who have played this game has said is like this game has a lot of uncanny valley in terms of like this game feeling so similar to different aspects of the work that it's inspired by, but it feeling very deliberate that they're doing that. But we're sitting with the unease of we don't know why they're doing that.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is interesting. The combat's fun. I'm having a good time. There was something in it started getting into things where I'm really locking in now. Like I literally turn around, blink for a minute, and the entire art style has fully changed. And it takes them about an hour to acknowledge that the art style has changed, which is an incredible level to do that long of a bit on. But they still, but you know, it's bold, and I appreciate it. I think it's wild that you could get so far through Expedition 33 and still be in the prologue of this game. I'm letting it cook. I'm having fun with that.
I've played 2 entire prologues by your logic. 2.5 or 2.25.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm not getting through Expedition 33 until I finish Metaphor. So I need to finish Metaphor as well, because that game deserves to be finished. I need to finish that. I think I'm like halfway to 2/3 through Metaphor, but I will play E33 after that immediately, because clearly I need to, I think.
Yeah.
Outside of that, in the realm of Harry, I'm still in Sweden. I'm having a great time. I went to Valborg, which is very nice. Good old Walpurgis night. We love it. Very nice. It's, you know, we've welcomed in spring. There was a big fire. I did like the meme that's like the girl who's like, you know, when there's like the young girl who's looking at the house fire and she's turning away looking devious. Did that.
Yeah.
I've done that meme. It's very fun. That kind of stuff is very cool. I've been to a sauna. That's pretty great. And also, I did a game jam over the weekend. It was interesting you were talking about like split screen games and all that, Doc, because I had an idea on the bus for a split screen game, and I worked on it, and the prototype kind of works, but I want to cook it a bit more. It's like a GoldenEye. Imagine
That's one of my favorite
GoldenEye
games, Harry. Go on.
Yeah, GoldenEye FPS games, the one with like the split screens and all that.
Yes.
Like, there's a really interesting game that I like that twists that format on its head called Screen Cheat, which is where you are all invisible, but you can see each other's screens, and the only way to figure out where each other are is by finding each other on each other's screens. I wanted to take that kind of design and twist it in a fun way. So I made a prototype for a really crummy prototype. It's not on the internet yet because it does not feel good and is not ready. It's a split screen 4-player one, 2 to 4 player. But when you let's say you're playing where my head is at, audio listeners. I can't describe this.
Top left-hand quadrant. Yep.
Yeah, top left-hand quadrant. Say I'm attacking the person who is like here, which is the top right-hand quadrant. Your health bar is your amount of like screen percentage you have. So by attacking someone, you end up increasing and shoving them off screen effectively. So your goal is to effectively like push them fully off the screen so it becomes a 2v2, like a 1v1. And then your goal is like the push and pull between that. And like, you know, fundamentally it kind of works. And I had a fun time making it. It needs a lot more cooking, but I like that kind of stuff.
Really interesting.
Because it creates this weird thing where it's like the people who are like adjacent to you are your teammates and your enemies at the same time. Because if you're in a quadrant of 4 and you attack the guy on the opposite side, it pushes the whole bar across, which impacts the other guy as well. So you want to be trying to like defending that person on there, but they're also your enemy on the other axis. So it's almost like it can encourage that chatting in like the co-op, like on the sofa, being like, no, let's go for this guy. Let's go for this guy. It's like, no, let's go for this guy. Otherwise, I'll give you a Greg's or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's got a little bit of like a disorientation and like, you know, problem cascading issue, but I'm working on it. But it's an interesting thing. I developed it here at the house in Spelkollektivet, and it's pretty fun. Yeah. Also, the other thing I was going to say is, because I've been hanging out with my friend up here in Sweden, you know, she's been getting back into Hitman, and I've also been getting back into Hitman at the same time. I'm back in my Hitman era.
Hit people.
I love hitting people in a video game. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
You've been attacked.
Hit human.
Constantly attacked.
It is hit human.
Hi.
But yeah, Hitman is so good. I've been playing a lot more like Freelancer, which is the roguelike game mode for it, which I'm so glad they made because it's such a well-produced game mode. Hitman's great. It literally just went on sale for like the next week, and you can play like the best level in the game.
Like 10 pounds or something?
Oh yeah, so you can get like the whole game pretty much for £10. Or for £1, you can get Sapienza, which is pretty much the simulation of an entire Italian village and has so much content in and of itself. And Sapienza is like it's the singular level that's like, this is like the level that you use to prove of how good the new Hitman trilogy is. Fantastic mission, fantastic everything. But that's 85 pence for that level. And you can just get that, and that could be your introduction to the thing. So 85p, you want a good game, a good level that could be enough of a game in and of itself? Come to Sapienza, get that Hitman.
Pat's backlog does not need more games. But
you can
I'm
also
not
finish the
looking it
mission in
up right
2
now.
minutes.
maybe her wish list.
I am not looking it up right now. Definitely not.
Definitely
And
not. Of course not. No.
I talked, so he's booked.
You
This
can
is my
finish
other fur baby, the
another
older
cat.
gentleman.
Oh my god.
He's
You can-
15 and a half years young.
You can finish Sapienza in like 2 minutes if you know what you're doing. I'm a Hitman. I love Hitman
You know,
speedrunning.
yeah.
If you know what you're doing means-
small town.
So, because what you can do is in Hitman 3, they have. I love the Hitman speedrunning scene, and I like kind of do a little bit of it. I dabble. The violin, you can get like a violin object just around, and it has really broken collision, so you can really easily break out of bounds and like do some crazy things if you combine that with an explosive. Like throw a violin, run on top of the violin, yeet an explosive underneath you, and then it shoots you and the violin up to the heavens, and then you can basically hit like a couple of trick shots on the targets and then land down in the ocean to destroy the final target and then leave via plane. It's so ridiculous. But
Audio listeners,
On a
Shan is
violin.
doing live unboxing.
I
of
was
the Lumiere edition.
reboxing, actually. I was taking pictures for you guys for later. I was trying to be discreet, but then it didn't go in the box, which is what
wow.
the viewers noticed was that I had to give up because it wasn't going in the
It
box.
wasn't going in.
Shan's just
correctly.
being like, yeah, that's so cool you're playing Hitman, but what about
I
Expedition
literally
33?
heard the violin bit, and I was like, what?
Oh.
We're running on a violin? I was listening. We're shooting the
Yeah.
clouds. I was
Yeah.
listening.
Excellent.
So that's all I've done.
Very good,
Yeah.
Harry. Anything else?
What have you been doing?
I have also
what have
been
you been
Expedition 33.
Mm.
I have nothing further to add. That Shan didn't already say. I will wait to pass judgment on its position in ranking for me on games of this year.
love
And
that
maybe
our
even games
commentary-
of all time, potentially.
I mean, it is the highest ranked game of all time
we
by audience
will-
scores on Metacritic.
We will,
Whoa.
when we have finished, we will probably
Yeah.
talk about it.
I'll have to finish that too.
So
Fudge,
maybe
goddamn it.
do a little spoiler cast. Well, maybe we'll wait for you to
Spoiler.
finish it,
I
Harry, and
love-
then we can talk about it.
I love that I love that like the contrast of Expedition 33 game of the year might be game of all time, that kind of thing, and like me with the 100 line. I think it might be good. I don't know.
It may or may not be good.
May or
I
may
need
not
to
be good.
apparently
So-
play another 100 hours to find out.
Yeah. I have played about 2 or 3 hours of Blueprints as well. I will definitely be finishing that because I do like me a little puzzle game. So yeah, I am more or less over the jet lag. I was in Boston for 3 and a bit days last week, and this is what I did
Ooh.
You may or may not still be there.
closet vandalism. Yeah, I think with the rain in
It was bad here yesterday.
I think with the rain in on the East Coast, I don't think there's any chance that it's still there, Shan. But
I thought
at
that
least
was
there's
I
evidence.
thought that was snow.
You thought you thought the granite was snow.
Yes.
boy. Oh
I
boy,
mean-
where
So-
to begin?
I understand.
That
you
is
know, all
outside
that
the
New York
convention center.
snow that there is.
So there's a web symbol outside the convention center. We'll see. Shan knows Shan has more detailed photos.
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty
she
sure I know
can-
exactly where it is.
She can check it out and see if we'll see whether anybody else finds it. Yeah. So other than that, yeah, just re-entry a bit and trying to catch up on a bunch of Natural Six content in general because I traveled basically right after the last episode. So other than that, yeah, I look forward to finishing Expedition 33. Talk about it more. Yeah, I think that's it. We got ourselves an art showcase, guys.
We've been waiting for it, and it's here.
It is here. It is here. So we're gonna run down the items in the art showcase. I am gonna get my folders up here so that I can show things in the right order.
Yeah.
First up, friend of the podcast, Martina, has got some very cool stuff. We're gonna bring this up. I'm gonna switch the scene.
Whoa. Has it switched?
Very cool.
Has it switched? Yeah, it's okay. It switched. I just didn't want to see. Just I was going, whoa, randomly to like nothing.
Whoa! Nobody can see
Oh
it.
hell yeah!
Yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool. So she's got a couple here with the kobolds. This is a good one as well.
I love her black and white art all the time. It's
Yeah,
so,
the aesthetic is very cool. I do like it a lot.
it's so wholesome.
And I think this is like 25 or 26 where Kelness did the hug of I and Parvis. Yeah.
The hug of eye.
Very cool. And finishing with one of my favorite pieces from the whole set here.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Gotta like yourself a Spider Queen, I think.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, she is slaying. I think we should let her. I think it's okay. I think we can let her. She's
Yeah.
allowed a little bit of
If
you
she
know,
wants
crime.
it, because I
If she
think
wants
she
it.
does not really want it.
I think
Okay.
it's telling that this was her fear.
All I gotta say is, Dolly, I wouldn't don't be scared of being a diva. You gotta embrace being a diva.
I didn't even. I'm just noticing the web symbols on the chair.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh,
on the
that's a
bottom,
fun detail.
the
On the
armrest.
on the
Oh, very fun.
any other.
Oh, and also, sorry, the cobweb. The cobweb is kind
Oh,
of like
the-
shaped, kind of like the
the
cobweb in the
cobweb
top
as
right.
well.
Is kind
Oh,
of
this one here,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
I feel it's kind of like web shaped.
Like the
That's
bits,
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Very nice shading.
So very cool
Yes.
stuff from Martina.
I always end up saying like, "Wow, really nice shading." Every single time I do art. It's
Very
such a
nice
weird
shading.
comment I have,
Shading.
but
He's just very sensitive
Wow.
to shading, and you know what? Good for him.
wow.
And I
We all have
gotta
our
appreciate that
expertise.
I'm okay
because
with that.
whenever I draw and do stuff like that, shading is the thing that I can never get right. It's hard. It's not something you can do automatically. You have to be like you have to have a talent for it, or you have to work your butt for it. So I think it is worth mentioning. Yes, good shading, because it's
is
not
good.
easily done.
It is good. Right. This one from Daz Hardy, which is very cool as well. I like the goggles.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those big goggles with bubbles.
The goggles and the fine wine. Also good.
Oh, brilliant. Dragonborn
Yeah, the
dreams.
writing
all right
with
for
the
fighting.
dagger, it looks like a tattoo design.
It does look like a tattoo design, Pat. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
very nice.
Very cool from Daz Hardy there.
Very cool.
There are a few Elowen ones in this showcase because it was Holly's birthday.
Yeah.
It was.
So now probably my second favorite one and is this one from Lindsay.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
think
my gosh.
I think this is the first natural 6 tattoo that we know of.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is mega. Wow.
I've thought about it,
So-
but I have a needle thing.
That's respect,
hate
honestly.
needles.
Cool stuff.
There was a discussion about the needle thing in
Yeah.
the cantrip. Shan. Yeah, I think you'd be
I
okay.
I miss cantrip every week because I usually close on Thursdays.
I think you'd be okay.
Have you? I'm a baby. Talk.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry.
But
So
I
yeah, I
want
think the first one
one.
you can ask Lindsay at PAX.
That's true. I get to see it in person.
To if she is amenable to that. Yeah.
I was
Very
What
thinking
about
all
me
the
asking her
time-
for tattoo advice?
I mean, you can ask her
I
for
don't give
tattoo
advice on tattoos. Actually, don't speak to me. Here's a caramel. Go away.
Yeah, she was
Something it
giving
might be
out
caramel.
I charge for
Yeah.
advice on tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have a caramel.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
No, it's just she was giving out caramels, and I was thinking for a while when the tattoo thing was mentioned that I could cheat because I have a tattoo machine, but I'm not there yet to do it on an actual human skin, let alone on my own. So
Wow. I don't know what to reply to that. Hardcore.
So what you need to do, Shan, is you need to get Pat to fly to Philly and tattoo once she's all practiced. We'll fly to Philly
Right.
and she can do the web tattoo for you. She can hook you up.
Tattoos.
actually, I've been meaning to do tattooing for a long time, but there's usually many courses and stuff that you have to get for it. But the basic thing is being able to work with a thing that's not just a pencil in your hand, but it's a vibrating little rotor inside. And that's why I got myself not the cheapest, not the highest end tattoo machine a year and a half ago, basically, but I haven't really worked much with it for a long time now. Mainly because I need to find some good practice skin. And
Right.
yeah.
Oranges. Oh, no, not oranges. Is it oranges that they say?
You can try with
There's a
oranges and
fruit.
stuff. Yeah. But I've mainly done it on fake skin.
Mm.
But yeah, it's not really too alien in my hand. It's just that next step would be to be more experienced with digital drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Definitely.
tattooing nowadays is basically you have a design, you print it on a transfer paper, slather up the skin with the transfer material, put the thingy on it, and then you have a stencil and you just do the lines. So basically, I have to get more comfortable with digital drawing, is what it is.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, very cool, Lindsay.
Very cool. Seriously, that's respect.
And the
Very,
placement,
very
because
cool.
this is a painful area.
Yeah, that's right. That's bone, baby.
That is
There's
a pain.
nothing here to cushion the pain.
Yeah, there is. There. Yeah,
Here.
it's a.
This was, I barely felt it.
Yeah, I would probably get something here.
Do you have any?
Not
well,
here. Here.
clearly,
I do not.
based on your
I
needle
wanted
situation.
some, but I'm a baby. But this would be easy. It's just 4 lines, 3 lines if you want to get technical.
Yeah. Harry, do you have any tattoos?
No.
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 Nah.
Wow. Sorry.
To
Riveting
quote
discussion.
Marcus, my other
Nah.
hyperfixation, nah.
Nah.
Nah. I
right.
forgot to talk about Marcus, but that's a whole other can of worms.
That's a whole other half hour.
Yeah, no, genuinely it is.
Yep. These are from Danielle.
Whoa.
Also very cool.
Nice.
Holy heck. That's
Colored
so cool.
versions.
So cool. Great
Yeah, so
shading.
she's got also
Yeah.
good shading.
And
Yes.
it's sort of reminiscent of Aoife's facial structures.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Awesome.
A little bit. Pat. So Danielle's also got Elwyn as well.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is very cool.
And I remember the discussion of this in the Discord that she mentioned that, she's not very good with the metallic paint. But
I
it's
don't
so
know.
good.
I
That's
like.
I can tell that's metal. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very
Good.
clearly.
Yeah. The shine is great.
Yeah.
And non-metallic metal is a very, very high level skill in miniature painting, which is basically what she did here on 2D thing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I mean, very, very cool.
I love the shading on the hair as well.
Yeah.
yes,
There's cool.
That's some really
Shading.
good
Yeah. I mean, you
hair.
got
Is
there is
important.
texture there for sure.
Great hair.
Very good. Very good. Right. We got Leonardo as well doing the nice eye in the high chair, which I
Oh my
like.
god. a
The eye
classic.
chair.
The eye chair.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
with the tongue going into the popcorn.
cute.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
Lovely. I love the tail coming out the back. That's
Yeah.
funny. That is fun.
Yep.
Sounds so much fun.
So
Very cool.
are
Very nice
those
warm colours.
are those caramels? What do we think they are, guys?
Either popcorn or caramel, I believe.
What about
Caramel popcorn.
Caramel popcorn. Yep.
Thank you.
So true.
Very possible. All right, now we got a multi-part.
Oh yeah, I know.
We got a
this one.
multi-part from Jasper. Which
I
is
saw the
great.
works in progress of these because
Oh,
Jasper's a buddy
Oh
of mine.
yeah,
I know
saw the
where this is
finished one.
going.
I know this too.
And what does he want to use? He wants to use
Yup.
gaze.
He wants to hypnotic the gaze.
Yep. And of course, what happens when he uses hypnotic gaze? He gets
Dies.
Yeah, he
smashed.
dies.
Right?
He
Yeah.
either
Dies.
dies or PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
He gets smashed.
And this could
How
be
many times has he
either.
passed? Like once?
Uh,
Twice?
He passed on Morgan, and that was like big clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
the times where it has been successful, it has been narratively
really successful,
dramatic,
yeah.
right? But
It's been narratively successful.
But
Yeah.
he nah, I'd win.
Every time Ben wants to use the
Oh,
ability, he's like,
man.
"No,
He's
I'll
like,
win." Every time he rolls in the box.
I always get so scared whenever I see him chuckle because I feel like, oh no, like.
I mean, we will obviously get to it, but the chuckle for this episode was of epic proportions.
I think this does it. I think how Jasper's done rating here is like is good on the span of like I appreciate that we're getting more like radiant anime boy art.
Yeah, because that's exactly what he is. He's just
he is anime boy.
Mm-hmm.
He is
The
anime
thing
boy.
that this reminds me of is the kind of question that men get asked. Okay, what's the animal that you think you could win against? And then they're just like, oh, so
no.
kangaroo, I'd win. A kangaroo.
Nah, I'd win.
Nah.
The
I
discussion
didn't.
of like
Nah.
can what was it like the discussion of can 100 like is it like 100 or was it like 10 men versus
It was
100
one-
men.
Yeah,
100
100
men
men
as a
versus
gorilla,
one
right?
gorilla.
Yeah.
and like the actual philosophical debate.
While I was traveling, I think this was what was trending, and I was like, Jesus, like, I don't know
See-
I don't know what universe we're in, but I don't want to be here.
I would have saved you with Marcus content. Marcus content will save you. I love this thing. I've watched this so many times.
These are so cool. So
I've watched it so many times.
And I do not know whether this is the correct pronunciation, but Reiji's animations here are this is the best.
My favorite is when the dice goes into the tower, not when he says it's a 1. It's when they're like when they're jazzing it up. It takes me out every time.
Yeah, so I will link to Reiji's
Do you remember what
YouTube
episode
video.
this is from? Because I was trying to remember and I couldn't. It's not
a
listed.
few episodes ago.
Yeah,
I think it wasn't it 22 that this one was?
Was it
Because that was like
22?
really.
it was during the lead-in, right? During the preamble before
Yeah.
the kind of episode really started. Yeah, where Harry was
We can-
like,
I think
Yeah.
we can easily check because of the little there's a dog and a Holly, and you can match up the dress, the shirt they're wearing.
True.
I think.
I'm sure you could. But yeah, I will link to the little short
It's incredible.
in the YouTube description.
When he rolls
So
a
you can check it out.
when he rolls a 4, was it a 4?
It was a 1.
Oh,
That's a 1.
was it the 1?
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
And it's a 1.
And it's a 1. Yeah.
And it's a 1.
I want to say I really
Um,
love the I love that rating that the actual photos here are from like the hyper realistic from the show.
Yeah.
Bottom left. That's funny.
Oh,
That
from the
is
bottom
so
left.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ben's
what I said.
pictures all being replaced
from
with
right
pictures
over
of the
here, right?
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All his stuff.
Right
I
over
was
here.
pulling a Ben when I was messing with my Expedition 33. When they made fun of him in Action Surge because he was packing up in front of
Oh,
them.
because he has
And then he immediately unpacked in front
unpacked
of them.
everything. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Guys, I think it's that time.
No, we're not. No, it actually isn't that time.
What?
No, it's not that time. So, got something live off the press.
Live off
Hot
the
off
press.
the presses.
Go, Harry.
So
Excuse
we've
me.
been talking about this for a little bit.
God.
Click the next link for me, please. Please
Oh,
click the next link
no.
for me, please.
Have you added something?
I just
Oh,
added
hot off the
something
press.
to it.
Hot
Off the press.
Hot off the
Segue live
press.
preamble. So we've been talking about this, previously because it would be funny to do so.
Oh, we
I got
permission?
I got his permission.
Yes.
Let me read you the actual message. Okay? Let me read you the actual message. So, for context, we were joking, like, oh, do we, we definitely got to show Ben's thing. First of all, foreshadowing is a literary device, Shan. You know what I was
Yeah.
trying to say that foreshadowing for later? This is that
Yeah.
foreshadowing for later.
Oh,
Got you.
Oh,
Foreshadowing. Got you.
foreshadowing. I forget what I said that was
Anyway.
foreshadowing, but we did it.
Merch drop. This is the
Merch
merch
drop.
drop 3 merch. Or
Yes.
Potentially. This should have been the MCM merch. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But I sent a message literally just like about a couple hours ago, genuinely, to Ben saying, "Hey Ben, blah blah blah. We're about to record the Six Pack Podcast episode. Could we proudly display your iPad merch idea amongst the rest of the fan art? I assume the answer is that it's fine, but it's even funnier if I've got an explicit permission from you beforehand, like we do with all the other artists. And the reply that he sent,
Oh no.
you must. That is the reply that he sent.
That's
You
it.
must. So then I said,
That's
any
it.
comments you want to make that I can relay, or does it simply speak for itself? His reply, you must.
Thank you.
So how do we feel about? So how do we? Yeah. So I like the shading. Good shading.
You have to mention the shading.
I think that there is, there's no shading.
There is shading.
There's no shade. I don't think there's any shading. Here, but,
I think the slippers are
shading
slightly
in that
shaded.
everyone is shading as well.
yeah, there's an absence. There's an
metaphorical
absence of
shading.
shading. There's an absence of shading, but there is definitely shade.
There
I like
is
the use of
shade
annotations
being
here.
thrown on the
Yes.
artwork
I like
that
the
he
use of
worked so hard
annotations.
on when he got
If
his
you
Apple
are,
Pencil.
if you're interested, my daughter did a version of this because she was absolutely enthralled by
I
the.
can't get over these are slippers. That's
yeah.
the bit that takes me out.
These are
Every time
slippers.
is these, not the let me lick you.
It's
It's literally that he had to point out that those are slippers.
It's helpful
Thanks,
annotation.
Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Honestly,
It's very useful
for me,
annotation.
But there's no
would have
arrow.
also been helpful.
Yeah, there's
that-
no arrow, so what if they're not slippers, Ben? This is why we
More-
needed a comment other than you must.
More art. I think more art should just have like annotations, like points. More art should be annotated on them so we can clearly
Yeah.
understand the exact
Yeah.
meanings.
I could
Because
also
we're
have
not
used,
supposed to figure it out.
Go, Pat. Go.
I could also have used a little help with the item on the left. I think
Oh,
it's a
It's a cap. It's a
cap.
nightcap.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's a nightcap for
if
when
you
sleep 'cause
annotate
they're-
the
'cause he's
slippers, you
British.
could have. Oh, so is that a common thing there?
So, have you ever watched A Christmas Carol?
I was about to say that.
Like
Yeah.
Ebenezer
But
Scrooge
do
walks around in that old
others-
nightcap.
Yeah.
Today use it, so it's
No.
not that
It's
common.
old timey. It's old.
old-timey.
So that's
Yeah.
very
But-
interesting that he would include it. So now I'm wondering, does he use a nightcap?
So my daughter uses a cap because she has very curly hair.
Yes.
And she uses a cap from time to time, depending on the weather, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are of African descent in general, sometimes you will also
My best friend wears a
wear-
bonnet.
wear a cap because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise it can be rough in the morning.
She does
Um,
say she thinks everyone should wear a bonnet actually because it's good for your hair. To have it be in silk
Mhm.
rather than up
Oh.
against cotton. So I actually have a silk pillowcase at her recommendation.
I
I
guess.
do have curly hair. I might try it.
Try it out. Yeah. They are I can recommend. Can
Ollie, there's
recommend.
a
Good,
market
they're
out
good.
there, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yes.
Mm.
Ben, all I want to, what I want to say.
The cat wants to
Ben-
see the shirt.
Yeah, Ben, do you wear a nightcap? And if so, like, how do you wear a nightcap? That's the question that
I
I'll
feel
be
like
asking.
that is a
So one thing that I noticed
question
with this
for-
Please
photo-
don't ask
Serving
that. Don't
cantrip.
answer. Ben, don't answer that question because I know what
Ben,
you're gonna say. Don't
so-
answer that question.
So what I noticed with the photo that's quite fun. There are 15 stars that he's
Uh-huh.
put on. There's 15 Benjamin stars, as it were,
Oh,
that are
God.
like placed onto this photo. And I really like because 15. If you add up the digits, 1 + 5, that's 6. So there you go. There's
Wow.
the reference. And no, so
Wow.
here's the thing. Him putting the stars here because he posted this back in like March. That was before we knew what the design was for the merch, the God Killers merch. So like, did he accidentally like this? I'm headcanoning that he deliberately accidentally leaked / teased that there was going to be stars in the God Killers merch, and you can't tell me anything otherwise.
It couldn't possibly be because it's just easier to draw stars on a shirt than anything else.
I wouldn't dream of bursting your bubble there, Harry.
Anyway,
Do you
thank
think the
you,
next
Ben,
piece
for your
of merch is going to be?
contribution.
Is the next merch drop going to be called the tongue lickers, or the mushroom lickers?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
please.
like
Please no.
don't give him any ideas
Mushroom
because we're
lickers.
gonna have to clip this for him. Don't
Yeah.
give him any ideas.
That's why I asked about the nightcap question.
Right.
I'm farming the
No,
YouTube.
you shouldn't
I'm
ask
farming
that
the
either.
YouTube.
Anyway,
I'm
thank
losing
you,
all
Benjamin,
credibility live. Thanks
for
Ben.
your contribution to the fan art. Thank you, everybody. But thank you, Ben.
We appreciate your contribution. Ben.
Thank you. We look forward to your next
And
one.
we will be asking in the AMA what the cast thinks about sleeping caps.
This was my one derailing moment. Thank you for indulging in it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Harry.
Pat was the only one who knew
so
about.
far.
Pat is the only one who knew beforehand that I'd
Yeah.
gotten clearance.
That you'd gotten clearance. Right. It's that time, guys.
Let's do it.
Now it is. Yep.
It is that time.
My cat wants to come into my lap.
Yeah,
Well, your
dear,
cat's
it's
here
leaning
for the
over
right
my
time.
mouse.
It's time to
Episode
spoil.
28. It's time for Spoliers.
We
Put
did
'em
it.
up.
Let
the
let
episode
us
28.
swiftly move through the predictions.
Let's move through predictions. There's going to be no discussion here whatsoever. Absolutely,
Harry.
totally, right, guys? Totally.
No discussion.
No discussion. Totally. Doc, your prediction was that there was going to be no new kobolds introduced this episode, and that's a clean, honest win, I believe. There was no new kobolds were introduced. Correct?
That is correct.
That's good. That is correct. Moving on to my prediction. Harry's prediction was that a being provides some form of lore to Radiant. Immediately, we're starting to hit muddy categories. Because technically, Kelness did give mushroom lore to Radiant. But that's not even a technicality. That is evidently what happened in the episode.
If by
Yeah, I
lore
guess.
you mean tell somebody something about something else,
That could just
Harry?
be
I think that's how it was
Yeah.
phrased. Yeah.
I
was
do like the
expedition.
fact that we have gravitated from greasy to muddy.
Oh no, I forgot. I should have been greasy. Fudge, I forgot to say it was greasy. Greasy, muddy, muddy grease.
It is greasy. Yeah.
Okay, this is greasy.
Okay.
Pat, on the scale of greasiness, I think it makes sense for the guest to probably rule on whether a greasy win is a win. Oh, or Shan. Shan, you can as well.
No, the
How do you feel,
cat's on
Shan?
my notes again.
Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. Pat, greasy win. A being provides some form of lawn to Radiant. I argue that this did happen, but you got the final say. Did this happen?
I mean,
I did say some form of law.
the next part of that
Mhm.
thing that I'm reading
Mhm.
was kind of the same thing, so I think that also adds to it.
Okay.
It was some form of lore.
Some form of law to
Also-
Radiant. And then at some point, the other part was if there's any time for the Dolly Law explosion, it is now. That's clean. We got the Dolly Law explosion.
Yes.
So
You know,
I would argue that that is also some form of lore to Radiant.
Radiant wasn't given that law, though, I don't believe.
Wasn't
Or was
here
he?
for-
Dolly, Elowin was the only one who heard that. Book.
Ah.
Yes. That is a clean win, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel we're leaning towards greasy win, but on thin ice.
Mhm.
With that one. Okay, but for Shan's one, this is where the meat of the potato is going to be. Surely, now more than anything else, Dolly and Radiant will have a reconciliant conversation / intervention. See previous episode predictions, etc. Now, this is very muddy, and I need to ask you all
Yes.
right now. Is
Yeah.
turning someone into a horse and then riding on them enough of an earnest moment? An earnest moment to be considered reconciliation.
Here's the thing.
Make your case, Shan. Make your case.
Here's
No.
the thing. I wouldn't say it was the turning her into a horse. But here's the thing. He specifically used an action to tell she was a nice horse.
That was what I was gonna
nice
say.
horse is how he put it.
Fudge. That was what I was going to say. Is
I
being called a
literally
nice
have the-
horse enough?
I also loved Harry yelling, "She's," because he had him roll or whatever, and he was like, "She's a great horse." And then even Radiant got rated as a surprisingly good ride. He's being normal, which incredible stuff. So he was being normal. He did turn her into a horse, but for the sake of the argument, he was being normal. That's what Harry said. And also, he specifically used an action to tell her she was a nice horse. I feel like they're gonna have to maybe it's a catalyst because you are gonna have to talk about how he turned you into a horse.
It's a
and
real
rode you
conversation
into battle.
starter.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because this is he saved her before the portal, and now she got him out of there, and he thanked her by turning her into a horse. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing I would give for this is
Yeah.
also the crux of the thing is the thing of the Dolly Radiant trust exercise where Dolly had the choice to
Yeah,
fail
he's
the
like, do
wisdom
you
save.
trust me? Yeah.
Do you trust me? Do you want to fail a wisdom save for a thing that I've not told you about? Is such a power.
Honestly, watching it, we were all concerned when he held his hand. I was like, "Do you trust me?" And I was like, "Oh God,
No,
No.
don't.
And then he turned her into a horse.
So Doc,
Mm-hmm.
horse, is horse enough to satisfy to be did the horsing around? Was that a reconciliation? Was that reconciliation? Also, we are obviously leaving this to Pat for the final say. But,
I don't
so
think
your opinion
so.
is invalid here, but whatever.
I don't think so, but I do feel like there is some serious reconciliation to begin at the start of
Yeah, they've
episode
helped
29.
each other now. Well, first of all, because they've
Um,
helped each other now. They've each helped each other, and they're talking, and they're gonna have to at least talk about the fact that he turned her into a horse, which
Yes.
means they have to talk, which means it might lead to something else. Will it? I don't know, but she has to ask about him, or he has to apologize. Somebody has to say something about how she turned into a horse. Somebody has to say something. They can't just leave it at, well, time to move on to our adventures in the world of Reliquia. She was just a horse.
No. The it's gonna have to be discussed.
Yeah.
Right. Final answer, Pat. Yes, no.
This is muddy.
No, I'm sorry, but to me,
yeah.
it's not the act of reconciliation yet. It could lead to it, but it's not that yet.
What if they both became horses? Would that be reconciliation enough?
I'm sorry, I have a cat in front of my camera. Kinda.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
I don't see the... Sorry. The void cat was there in front of the video feed. Anyway, so I see it this way. This was a spur of the moment thing where suddenly something had to be done. And okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Okay, you do this to me. What the hell? But then the reconciliation has to happen in a non-fight situation. To me, it's not that yet.
Okay. It's
Could
not
lead to it, but it's not yet.
It's not the I'd never thought I'd die fighting alongside an elf or whatever happens in that show.
I never thought this weird man would turn me into a horse.
And ride me.
Yeah. And think I'm a nice horse.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and our final prediction coming from Kari from the last episode was that they would meet themselves, but themselves actually Red Dragon. Radiant will ask themselves about the deck. Radiant Dolly will talk. Maybe Dolly will thank Radiant for saving her, which was all kind of folded into kind of one kind of thing. That second half of them, they did speak words to each other. They didn't ignore each other at the table, but I think it felt more reconciliation conversation. Did Dolly thank Radiant for saving her? No, because she's been too horse.
She's a horse. She is a horse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, loud, incorrect.
Dorse.
Extremely loud, incorrect
She
buzzer
is.
on this one.
Yes.
But that was strong. That was strong. We love going in strong with this one. But yeah, it seems like there's going to be a very Four Forests arc coming up. So, but yeah,
definitely.
Good attempt.
Definitely. Right. Shan. The dresses were killing it
They were very nice. I like
this
them.
episode. Yeah.
They're very nice. I'm excited to see their fashion in person.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
What were the dresses this time?
I
It was
believe
like an
Aoife
overall
had a
dress.
sundress kind of style.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sundress was Aoife.
And Holly was rocking it was like kind of a dinner gown, kind of. Yeah, they were nice.
Nice.
And the
It was
bowling
just so
shirt
nice.
once again made a resurgence. Harry.
It was such a. I mean, come
It
on.
was the red one, I think, though.
Yeah,
Not the blue
but
one.
like I said, plot relevant. We learn a lot around. We're gonna
When the
talk
bowling
about
shirt is
this.
out.
When
Yep.
the bowling shirt is out, things are gonna happen. We got that somniums, we got the horse, we got the gloam, we got so much.
Yep. Cool.
Theory proves correct.
It's been on point so
Yeah.
far, Harry.
Oh yeah.
All right. I feel like we got to talk about the drugs.
Drugs.
The drugs.
Drugs.
Yep. And there were a couple comments to this effect. I can't remember if it was in the spoiler chat or in general on the Discord, where people were saying, and I think we've kind of been of this opinion for a while now, there's quite a substantial amount of trust at this table. You don't just like kind of pass out things like cults, religion, and drugs casually
Drugs.
at while playing D&D. So it was interesting that Harry, and I don't know whether this is one of these things that he has been sitting on since episode 0, although he did imply that there are a few things in this area that he has been sitting on for almost 30 episodes now. But yeah, what do we think about the drugs?
I was gonna say, like, I think if I don't know where I remember it. Like, the name Somnium does ring a bell. I feel like it has been offhandedly mentioned at some point. I think at like some point in a previous episode, like way back, when like I think specifically there was like probably a conversation in terms of talking like, okay, in recreational like drugs and stuff like that and Reliquae, the main ones that exist is like Somnium, and that was as much as we knew at the time. So it's really cool to get like a good spotlight on that. That must have been back in Baroon, I think. I don't know. I'm just spitting. I could just be like wrong, but
It's
yeah,
a long
I think
time
it's
ago now,
yeah. Well, I think it's I mean, it's cool to see like a lot of the elements of the world, expanded and that kind of thing. And also, I think what is really interesting, because often I see like in D&D, sometimes in like I guess sort of home gamey sort of things, like drugs or substances or that kind of stuff tend to sort of be like, oh, you have it, let's do like constitution save, or you're like there's only like a sort of shallow like level of it, and typically like it tends to be a thing that I guess I've never not really seen as like a subject matter genuinely kind of like explored. But I think it was really interesting to see like Kel, for example, like the almost like having like in-depth backstory of having experience with it, and like having that kind of relationship of like knowing its dangers and stuff like that, and exploring that in a very specific like detail. I just found that was like a really cool element of that conversation, and just whole vibe of the episode that was like, I don't really see these kind of things portrayed in this way, and that's like something that stood out to me.
Definitely. I think having Doug Cockle as your like spirit guide through some trip is probably, it's got to be up there on the people you'd want to have making sure you're okay, right?
I feel I don't know how that like works, but like But like I feel like that could be like really chaotic as well, because we know also like Doug has like, you know, it's like, you know, Doug, incredible like force of calm, that kind of thing, but can be an incredible force of chaos as well. It's like in the actions, as they were saying, like, you know, there's the difference between like, you know, I've lived in the world, like truly lived in the world a lot longer, like, you know, sagely Kelness versus like infernal radical Kelness and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Which is, so it's like an incredible amount of power. You know, would he use it wisely?
Will he
That
use
kind
it
of thing.
wisely? Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, we talked last time about whether Doug is on is like how difficult usually a set of combat tends to be, is like how focused he is in, you know, not completely like playing optimally or whatever, but we've talked a lot about, you know, how this group is hard to balance for, and it's hard to know which person you're going to get at the table. And yeah, Pat, I think you mentioned earlier, like, yeah, the person who Paul who shows up and their whole contribution to a fight is to polymorph one of their teammates, right?
No horse.
That, you know, that's their whole contribution. Yeah. Of course we had the Dolly lore bomb. Her having being sold into the web was quite a revelation. Does make sense. Does mean a lot of things make sense in terms of her behavior.
Wow, that is basically my only thing that I could think of a prediction properly. Like, I don't even know if this would be coming up next episode or anything, but I don't know. Should I say it now or save it for later?
You can say
Hey.
you can say your prediction whenever you want.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go for it
because
whenever.
the way that I felt when I re-listened to it now again, the way Aoife mentioned those words and said her way of talking when she was talking about Somnium, it was very deflated, defeated. And it's my first thought was that, oh, so she knows who created this drug. But what makes more sense to me, because this drug has been around for way longer, is what I feel, is that the person who sold her to the web was addicted and sold her maybe because of this addiction.
Hmm. Oh, that's an interesting. That's an interesting prediction.
I mean,
That
we
would
did.
make her very averse to the drug.
Hmm.
Although maybe it would fuel a more strong aversion to it. I'm not sure, but that's the feeling that I got when she was talking about it. She sounded very defeated for some reason.
Hmm.
So the drug thing has to have some personal.
Yeah, I mean, I think she did say explicitly that the deal that was made with the web was related to the drug in some fashion, right?
I must have missed that, but then I guess I came to that conclusion somehow.
Yeah. So yeah, it is definitely. I mean, we don't know the details, and hopefully we'll get more of the details. But yeah, that is completely tracks with what
Oh,
was
I have a
revealed.
note actually. Wait, I do have a
Go,
note
Shan.
about this. I wrote because I thought I wrote something down about this. Um, a, don't remember exactly what you said, but I had written Dolly hates Somnium because someone planned to use it to take over Baroon.
Yep.
Yes, so like, which kind of reminds me of her fear because she said like the streets were
Yeah. She
crazy.
was
So if someone
and she
fed it
was in
into
the she was in the
Oh.
gang. She was in the gang that was going to
Yeah.
going to attempt to take over Brew. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So yeah, that kind of makes sense that the person who maybe did not invent the drug itself, but planned to use it widely, like
Yep,
try to mass produce it, and
definitely.
that's why she was sold. So it still fits in with what I thought, but
Absolutely does.
ish, yeah.
Absolutely does. Yep. very interesting the names that were used, that there are Dahlias, that I think everyone was doing all of this kind of 5G chess, of the linkage between Dolly and Dahlia and
Yeah,
what
because
other
she's been
people
called Dahlia before.
yeah.
Yeah. Except that the other players don't know, I think.
No,
That
I
was
don't think so.
that conversation, that little like, well, when the spinner was on like the Skype call with sorry, the sending Skype call was having like, you know, the boop 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 boop. It was like, sup Dahlia. That was one that kind of happened like at the table. There's like sort of fun little thing towards the end.
Yep.
That they had at the table for. So
but then
the
the
other-
characters aren't
the characters
aware.
don't know.
For
but
that,
yeah.
the cast for that the whole cast was out of the room, right?
not for that one.
Or not for that one?
Not for that one. Not for the one where the spinner.
Not for
referred
the
to
sending
her as
stone.
Dahlia.
No, that's true.
Not for the sending stone.
Because
Yeah.
they were
Just,
out of the room when she was told to help the Gloam,
Yeah.
Yes.
and this was not that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of nuance there.
Also, there was also like interesting nuance there with in terms of like Radiant's kind of like relation to it and wanting to do it again, relating to the whole like capital T themes. Shan, there seems like a theme that you were, I don't know. Did you have a thing you wanted to say on that?
I mean, I had a couple things to say about, because there's a lot of interesting
Yeah.
stuff when it comes to Dolly and Radiant, because now we find out they've both been sold to the web, and it's like, wow, you guys seem to have a lot in common. Maybe you should, I don't know, talk. Especially because she would know his situation even if he doesn't know hers, because she knows. Like, yeah, she
knows more.
She knows more about his place in the web than he knows about her at all. His like, I killed my parents thing was a reveal to her, yeah, but she knows more about him than he would have thought she did, because they didn't know she was a spy until later.
Most definitely.
But I did kind of, I didn't write down what I thought about it, because I always write what happened so I can formulate my thoughts. But it kind of makes sense to me that if there is a drug that hypothetically, possibly, like mythically, could allow you to see things, specifically what Radiant said was like your past or your future. If any character in this party would want to do it, it would make the most sense for it to be Radiant, because he is missing a lot of memories. He doesn't like fully know who he is. He doesn't know why everyone hated him. He can only he guesses, and he knows some things, but there's so much he doesn't know. And so for him to want to take the drug in the hopes that he could see something from his past and make things make sense.
Yep.
Especially because he just saw paintings of people who look like him in the caves. So yeah, I too would be like, oh, well, if there's something that could allow me to do this thing, I would kind of be interested in doing it. Meanwhile, you have Dolly saying like 5 minutes later, I don't know why anyone would do that to themselves right in front of him, which is very funny, very dramatic irony of them. But I did think it was really interesting that he opened up about this with Kel. Because I think normally he would probably talk to Dolly about it if A, she wasn't so against it, and B, they weren't fighting. The girlies weren't fighting. But I did think it was interesting that he talked to Kel about it, because Kel knows about the drugs and everything else. And Kel's only response being like, fine, I won't tell anyone unless you do it, but I would want to be there when you do it. And I was like, that's cool. I do love that he was like, no, I'm not keeping that a secret if you do it, dude. Like, he's like, if you do it, I'm telling everybody. I was like, yeah. Papa Kel is like,
Papa Kel?
no.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you do it, we're going to be there to make sure you don't have a bad trip.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll lock in my own prediction here. I think he'll take it in 29.
Might as well.
So we'll see whether he does. I mean, it might be
Might
too
as well
soon.
do some drugs. Why not?
I
You
mean,
just
yeah,
turned your friend into a horse.
they did take 3 portions, is what I remember from the.
They've got the dry
Dried and
doses
fresh.
and fresh.
Yeah.
So they've got,
Yep.
Oh.
they've got enough for him to.
Yeah.
But the way Calnus was talking about it, I'm not sure. Like, the way I understood it is that the way that they say you can see the future, the past, that's just somebody being high. They think that's what they see, and that they're just out of their minds. And I think that if, like, that would also be a prediction for me. If Radion takes it, he does not see past or future. He's just gonna be
fun.
tripping out of his mind.
I mean, Harry did also make Doug do a history check and specifically state that Doug,
He never
you don't know everyone who you've ever talked to from the same plane, because he was talking about planes of existence, right?
Oh gosh.
Is from this plane, right?
Oh
so-
gosh.
So
Oh,
I mean,
and
Oh,
Radiant.
no.
Oh,
Is not could possibly not be from this plane.
I
Yes.
think that's pretty much a confirmation at this point. Holy fudge. Good
Yeah.
catch.
so
Holy
I don't
fudge.
know whether that is Harry guiding the players here, like, guys, like, if you want to do this and waste a whole episode with one of your your party members being high as a whatever, you can
do
if you
other
want.
stuff. They can do other stuff while he's high.
Yeah,
No,
He only needs
Radiant
to
takes
or they can just
Somnium, becomes BBEG. Just Radiant takes Somnium one time, instantly, like, powers up. We get like a Final Fantasy like full boss battle, that kind of thing. Like, Harry's like, I did warn you guys.
It's like
I'm gonna
Dishonored, how you have to take the drugs. Not Dishonored, sorry. Bioshock, where you have to take the drugs to do all the cool stuff.
yeah.
Harry's just at the
Yeah.
table.
He's Booker
Harry's
DeWitt
at the
now.
table, just slowly shaking his head while Ben's like, and I will take the Somnium. And during like a long rest or so, it'll be during a long rest as well. And then Harry's just shaking his head, and he just clicks like a button that's on like behind his desk that is just called "Cool Crafted Campaigns." And there's just meanwhile over at Crafted Campaigns HQ, Mark receives a phone call that is just like, we got a problem. We got a problem.
We gotta
I'm
bring
gonna
the
need
we gotta
another forest stat.
Nah, we need a forest and we need some dragons, right? Yeah.
You have to
We're
bring
gonna
the big
need-
minis now.
Yeah, the big
We-
minis, exactly.
look,
But
we're
this
gonna
whole
need
thing
this.
about that
Mhm.
reminds me of I don't know how far you've ever listened to NetPod,
Mhm.
because Harry mentions it a lot. Their second campaign, which is a completely homebrewed mixed world that is like mixed Shadowfell and Feywild in one world, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, is it a spoiler if it's been out for multiple years now?
Just go for it. It's all good.
Like, the last episode is
NetPod
about-
episode 2. Be careful if you skip maybe the next like 2 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah,
go
it's
for it.
basically about finding this girl who is the reincarnation of the daughter of the trickster, who's
Mhm.
like Fey magic thing, and
Cool.
this trickster is the one who brought magic into the world, and this daughter does not remember her previous lives, so her sister, who is technically basically the evil person, who does remember her previous lives, which basically means she hates humanity because humans fear the magic and they destroy them every time when they die. So there's a crown that if this girl puts on, she remembers her past lives and realizes, oh, I am a human, but I have this godly power, which she does show that she has this innate magical ability. But the fact is that it will be a god's power and fury in the body of a humanoid. And it's like the moment of putting on the crown is when, like, if Radiant would be taking that drug and remembering, oh, I'm this powerful god, everybody dies.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's quite an
The
escalation.
parallel. And thinking about how Harry always mentions Netpod, because he mentions it a bunch,
Mhm.
there are possibilities.
But okay, if this happens, like Harry's going to absolutely like say to Radian, "Are you sure?" Like, it would be absolutely like, "Are you sure?"
Like when the DM asks, "Are you sure?" You have to rethink your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
think
point of no return.
honestly, what we kind of got a couple answers there. Like, what do we think the not funniest, but like, what do we think like the most out there option if Radiant takes the drug and then like Faye react differently to this drug? My theory, my one I'm gonna put out there
He's gonna
is
lick
just
more
Radiant
mushrooms.
explodes. No, he
Well,
just
he could
explodes.
explode.
I
He
think
could
he just
explode.
explodes. Radiant, like a Faye
Rest in
takes
peace.
this, just explodes, immediately explodes.
Rest in peace, Radiant.
Loses all of his magical powers, which I think would be bad.
Oh, that would be bad.
Because Radiant likes to
You
be
don't
a
have a
special boy,
That's
and
his
that would
whole
make him
identity.
non-special.
He can't trigger use hypnotic gaze.
No.
You take away his trigger.
Yeah, I think that would be
No.
the worst thing. But even whenever he takes it, I don't think it would be a definite effect. There would have to be a roll involved, like either a luck check or like a table, like roll a d6 and one of these effects is happening. So I don't think it would be necessarily a set effect
Yeah. Just
for him.
I just imagine just Radiant just taking it and just exploding, and it's like, oh Ben, that's your character. Goodbye.
Bye, backup character here.
Radiant takes it, and Harry's like, please follow me to the second studio. And then Ben is taking part in. Then Ben has to be taking part in the next season of Adventure Wildwood, while incredibly awkwardly sitting next to Andy Farrant,
Yeah.
who is responsible for so much of his anguish.
Early shout outs to Honey Badger Games here in the UK who provide
Yay.
edible potions. Very tasty.
Oh, lovely. Very cool.
So
So if you're doing a D&D game, you want some edible potions? Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Can you have them as an action, or do you homebrew it that you can have it as a bonus action?
Wow.
Action free.
Yay.
Action free.
Okay. So,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of threads here. And this was discussed during the action surge about the fact that we're running two main story threads more or less in parallel, which we haven't really done. Or, I mean, all the threads have been going in parallel, but that there's we're running two active threads at the same time. Both Dolly and I. And it'll be interesting to see how all that stuff intersects. And yeah, Radian cannot not be the center of attention for so long. He's got to be the center of attention.
He's been doing a really good job of not
Doing
being
really
the center of
good job at
attention
being on the
for
side character.
an episode or two.
Yeah, for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I turned my back for 5 minutes. Yeah. One thing which I wanted to ask about, sorry, so going back to the kind of the Dolly like stuff and like that. What was the thing with the tattoo? I forgot about there's like the hand tattoo. What she got a tattoo of again? Because that was the thing that was pointed out by the god.
Alex prestidigitated the
symbol.
The midnight
the cult
moon.
Yes.
symbol on her hand, thinking that if you go in there, you can use it, right, to show. As an option.
Yeah, that was a bad
backfired spectacularly.
Yeah.
My favorite quote that I wrote from specifically Action Surge, it was two things, was Harry saying, "I assumed you'd think it through more." And then saying that it went really well, considering. So yeah,
they did not have a plan. I want to point on this
through.
a bit more. I am pointing this a bit more. This is like we're going full sports commentary mode. We're going full sports commentary mode now. Do we think they need a better plan when they're tackling the globe? And if so, what is their actual angle of attack here?
Yeah, I mean they met.
Go ahead.
They went in there twice, two different places. It went horribly both times.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue slightly less horribly in Alvelian, right?
Yeah, they didn't burn it down.
But I think it's really difficult, actually, when you have a party that does have a charisma-based character, i.e., Dolly, right?
Yeah.
But who, based on subclass choice and whatever else, doesn't have enough, while has proficiency and all this kind of stuff, doesn't have enough, like, I more or less is a guaranteed stealth unless something spectacularly wrong happens, right? Right now, Dolly doesn't have that luxury when it comes to persuasion checks, etc.
And I think that's kind of a good thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
most of
when
us.
she gets in that situation, there's just way too much randomness, right? So it's quite, and basically her with Radiant is a whole other level of
Yeah.
extra randomness added to those, encounters, if you will.
Shout out to random.
And yeah, that just makes it very difficult to talk your way out of a jam, so to speak, right?
I think also the Gloam in general are being they're done really well because again I think if you just have the most charisma score of all time and you're basically Jedi mind and it gets to a point where you're able to basically Jedi mind trick anyone into giving you the information you want, it becomes hard to kind of work with that, and it becomes hard to have kind of drawbacks or consequences on it. What I like about the Gloam is that the Gloam is legitimately a puzzle which the players are kind of having to figure out on how their customs actually work. There hasn't been a convenient NPC who has said, here's how our things all work. They're just working with the information of what they've got. What Dolly needs to do though is kill a guy and then use her Dolly.
Yes.
I'm doing the Steven Universe meme. Dolly, we're gonna have to kill that guy. We're gonna have to kill one of those Gloam guys and do the shadow thing to get, because that specifically, that part of her subclass is about getting enough information to be able to pass off as that identity, which is enough and precisely what they need right now. You know, again, I'm thinking, what do they need to do for the second half? In the second half of the game, it's half time. They're moving in the second half of the game. They need to start adapting their strategy towards finding that Gloam member, using that ability on it, and then that gives them the in that helps them figure out the rest of the puzzle. Because I feel it's going to be really rewarding for them, and it's going to be really rewarding for us as viewers to see them figure out this puzzle and be able to actually make a Gloam encounter go well, because they're able to actually say the right things, because they're getting there. They know rings, that kind of thing. But I think when they're saying the Alvelian ring, I think that is wrong. I don't think that is the correct I don't believe that's what they really are. I think they'll have more obtuse or more symbolic names. And I think even just from the jump, that one's kind of getting it wrong. But if they just work out what one ring is called, then they'll know how to generally BS it for a lot of other rings.
Right.
So yeah, it's I don't know. I'm an intel enjoyer. I'm an intel gatherer.
I think we might need to change your title to Harry the Coach. Harry,
coach,
but
not
yeah,
the
I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, Aoife. So Dolly via Aoife has a series of tools that could be used to make these persuasion, knowledge gathering, or information gathering exercises a little bit easier, right? And yeah, you're right. She just hasn't had the opportunity or hasn't thought about it, right?
She hasn't killed people for long enough. They've often had to kind of gank someone and kind of go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
I don't think that's the first thing that anybody would be going to, that, okay, we need to isolate one of these guys, kill them, and then I can take on their visage. That's not something that, and it hasn't come up enough with Dolly that she can do this, that I think she would think of it.
Right. She did have a conversation that it did lead to my favorite note of the episode, which was how she was talking to that guy and talking about what he liked to bake, and things like that. And I did put excuse me, ma'am. Sadly, the French are now canon. um, because of the actual like patisseries that they were describing.
Yep.
It's like
Sadly, the French are canon now.
it's like how the French president described it, like Expedition 33 as like audaciously
French.
French.
Yeah.
French, audaciously French.
Audacity.
I mean, the game is audacious.
Audacity. French
The
audacity.
game is
incredibly French.
audaciously
They speak
audaciously
French,
French.
quite a bit.
Yeah. Does Ben Starr
but-
speak French?
Yes, because there's actually famously a video of him trying to say the word merde.
Okay.
He could not do it. So, like, you know, she's doing stuff. She's not doing the special stuff. But sorry, the cat. But she's,
Yeah,
you know.
She's done. The thing is that she has done the special stuff in the absolute perfect
Yeah.
time previously. So I don't quite understand. Maybe at the last go round she didn't have the spell slots to do it, or I think it's isn't the skill a
Do you want me to check? What's the skill? I'll check for you. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure the skill is a ritual as well.
What is it?
So
I mean, they were completely rested because I remember they went into this. They approached after resting, didn't they?
but like there have been dead Gloam previously, right? Like in Alvelion, they killed a bunch of Gloams. She could have taken on the visage of any of those guys without having to isolate one and like kill someone who didn't attack them or whatever. Like there were multiple opportunities to do that before they went into the camp.
I remember she used this first time, the one time, the only time, right? After the mouse battle.
She's used it twice, right? Once before the mouse battle, right? I think. And then once with Morgan in the mouse battle. Yes.
What am I, which am I looking up? What's it called?
I honestly can't remember what the...
But I think it has to be some person who was offed recently.
Oh,
Yes.
If we're talking at the times Dolly's been using that ability, it was once with Morgan, with the Morgan, who they recently Morganed. And then the other was like, I believe it was actually with Iago. Wasn't it with Iago? Wasn't it around then when she did it?
So it's Mantle of Whispers is the ability. At 6th level, you gain the ability to adopt a humanoid's persona. When a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture the shadow using your reaction. You retain this shadow until you use it or you finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do, it vanishes, magically transforming into a disguise, etc., etc., etc. While you're in the disguise, you gain access to all information that humanoid would freely share with a casual acquaintance. So such information includes general details of the background, personal life, but doesn't include secrets. So that's where they'd have.
Yeah,
That's where they'd have
it.
to. But casual acquaintance that's also in the Gloam. Well, you'd share things about the Gloam, right? So
That's where I would counter with, they are not casual acquaintances in the Gloom. In their own ring, they are close-knit and they are not sharing that. So it's about sharing something, and they are not sharing anything, not even their names to each other.
yeah. So I mean, that's one of those Harry would have to
Rule about it.
rule about exactly how much information they would share and what they wouldn't
It's not
share.
in my book.
Here's what you do.
It's College of Whispers.
It's not in the new.
No, it's not in my
yet.
book.
Here's what you do, okay? Step 1, you identify the target. Step 2, you rig up an increasingly like elaborate accident kill and basically cause them to get themselves killed so that it's not so that it can't be
So
traced
it's
back
not
to
that-
them
but,
constantly.
I mean,
That was
again,
another
like I
note
said,
took,
then,
though,
like
but-
they've had
cast
she's
Speak
had
with Dead.
opportunities. Oh, Speak with Dead,
Yeah.
also another
You
option.
then cast Speak with Dead, but
But-
for Speak with Dead, you can only really speak with Dead with someone who does not really see you as hostile. You have to engineer a complex Rube Goldberg machine to kill someone so that you can kill them without them being aware that you killed them.
But that's the rub, though. Radiant didn't want to just go in and kill people. He's
No,
straight
no,
up
no,
said,
yeah.
like, I don't think we should do that.
Oh,
So
I'm speaking
that's-
hypothetical.
Oh, yeah,
Also, I
hypothetical,
think it's
yeah.
quite wild that Radiant being a
That I thought that was hilarious of him to
Radiant
say. But
taking
all
the
right.
moral high ground on this scenario. Wild.
Yeah, and College of Whispers Bard is in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, so will not be in the main.
Xanathar's a
Sample.
beholder. Fun fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
We discussed Xanathar 2
Earlier.
episodes ago, 3
Okay.
episodes.
Yeah,
we were
it
going
came
through
up.
all of the iconic D&D monsters, following the not knowing who Drizzt is
Yeah.
discussion. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So cool.
Yeah.
Anything else on 28, guys? I mean, obviously there was the whole like let's burn the thing to the ground hilarity, but
I mean, it keeps them from using it.
yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do now, given that they've basically abandoned this camp, right? Whether they complete the burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It started off as a hitman mission. It's ended as a just cause mission.
It did not.
Yes.
I also loved how they left Spider Kel behind
Yeah,
when they dimension doored away.
I wrote myself a notes app on my phone when I was at work today and re-listening to the episode, and specifically mentioned dimension door. Eek, but the spoiler.
They just left
Like
him behind.
Dolly completely forgot that she can only take one person, and that was the second one. Like, I mean, out of the two of them, this was kind of the better choice.
Can you imagine her taking Spider Kelnis with her?
Yeah, but even if Kelnis was in Kelnis form, Kelnis is the better choice to leave there, I think, because Radiant would have that could have
Messed
ended
it
badly.
up quite spectacularly, yeah.
And the fact that Harry specifically says no hijinks.
Yeah, no hijinks.
Yeah, he was pretty clear, like if you
And
guys
what did they try to do? Hijinks.
hijinks were on full display, I think. I mean, the consequences of the hijinks, though, were. This is again one of these situations where, you know, Harry, you mentioned the like, let's die in what happens when you die in episode 1 or session 1 of your campaign, right? Like, I think you guys know me playing my broken record. I have no idea how one of them hasn't died already, right? And here again, the roles were in their favor. Like, they could have gotten players could have got downed there. There could have been all sorts of hijinks, right? That it could have been very bad for them, right? There.
And then it's just down to one deck of many friends going the wrong way
Yep.
for it to go so far wrong.
Yep. For
That one card that just erased that out of it. Like, wow.
Yeah. The one from 22. Imanzu Mar? I forgot what it was.
I think so.
Yes.
I have a problem with names and I don't remember it, but I mostly remember feelings, like how I feel with this specific song or that story or this experience, that game. And that made me feel like shocked, because the alternative, when that role decided this person is erased, like, oh, because
That
it's
would be
not like
wild.
you have death saving throws. It's not like you have a character who dies and maybe somewhere you could find a druid or a high level cleric to cast Revivify or raise that or whatever the spell level is. No, they're just non-existent anymore.
Going to the Shadow Realm.
Just
Okay.
not existing. What do you do then?
Hypothetically.
They become a card?
Oh God, hypothetically.
Because I mean the wording is basically they go wherever that guy goes. So wouldn't it be funniest outcome? Which I always think about hypothetically, what if you eventually have like a guest later on or a campaign 2 character who is a like dragonborn from the sanctum who was fighting these friggin' intruders at some point and then just went on the trip of his life and like eventually like found his way back into really
And
quick or
is
something.
the antagonist of campaign 2, right?
No,
Yeah.
or like one of the player characters for campaign 2.
Or
That
one
could
of the
be wild.
one of the player characters in campaign 2.
And then the
Right.
antagonists of campaign 2 are the heroes of campaign 1.
I love that kind of stuff. I do love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
But
with
yeah,
it,
now that you
but
mention
yeah.
it, the thing that could be that this person just becomes a card.
Also true. Also true, Pat. Also true. Yes.
Mm.
Right. Have we got anything else on 28 before we make our 29 predictions?
Some random notes that anyone can pick up from if you hear something you want to talk about. I forgot they found the dead body. That's something I wrote down. I forgot that they found a dead body.
I forgot too.
Yeah, Kel told Radian that he stinks and needs a bath.
Mm-hmm.
I also wrote, get a clo to this guy, because that was pretty funny. I thought it was interesting that the party can't even feel the kobold marks, like they are
Yeah.
so hidden from. I also loved how he sees no problem with bringing these non-kobolds in because they're tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? They're tribe. I also put, let me make sure I did all of the fun stuff first. You mount Dolly was an interesting thing to say. I also like that at one point I literally just wrote the horse because I think Harry referred to Dolly as the horse.
The horse. Yes,
and that made me laugh very much. I also love that when they rode in, when Radiant rode into the camp, he rolled a 20 performance check.
Mm-hmm.
So he
A
rode
nat
in like
20.
a nat 20 performance check, rode in like a hero. Parvis loved it. Because Parvis, like, he either is completely amused by Radiant or he can't stand Radiant. One of the two. And I followed the Gloam leader or the Gloam person that ran away. So see what interesting stuff he finds out.
The thing that you mentioned about Harry mentioning that I brings them in without knowing if it was completely okay to bring not kobolds.
Yeah.
Wasn't that said in the action search?
I mean, they might have talked about it more, but it was in my episodes for the notes, which I take on separate days for the episode. I think
I don't
he
remember
must have
it,
just
Pat.
asked him.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I listened to it back to back today at work, so
Yeah.
maybe information is mixed up. But I remember it, and there were some other points made at the action search. But
have you listened to Elwyn's diary?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I managed to do the action search, but I had to dim the light on my
I'm pretty
phone
sure
because otherwise
that
it wouldn't have played it.
Elwyn mentioned something either to Dolly or about the fact that let's be careful when I. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, and she's mentioned that a few times in the last few episodes. Like,
how is he gonna feel?
If this goes badly, then it could be the end of the guy. Nope, all nice anecdotes. Shan.
Do we talk about the action search too, or is that?
Yeah, we kind of folded it.
Yeah, we have.
It's one of those things that always ends up getting like melded.
Because I did have some notes, which I did on a paper because my phone was on the side, dimmed completely. Specifically, the talks about alignment, I found that fascinating as hell because whenever I create a character for Pathfinder or D&D, it always is there like alignment, the chart and everything. And then the game that Kari also mentioned, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, then there's a wheel. It's a circle. And that's where I was first realizing, okay, it's not the circle, not the square, like one of the 9. But like as I play a druid who is continuously picking the good or the good choices, true neutral it just becomes true neutral and good neutral. Like it's a more it's a different focus on it. So their conversation on it was really interesting to me because I don't know if it was Harry or Ben, but somebody said that alignment is not something you yourself decide. So it would be weird to say that your character who you're playing, who you're deciding who it is, has lawful neutral, lawful good, because it's their actions, how they are perceived by others.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know how you will be perceived.
I mean,
It's
I think it's true that
like it's imposed on you from outside.
yeah. I mean, I think it's true
It's
that most players, if left to their own devices, right, in a world essentially with no personal consequence to you as a human,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
are true neutral, right? They are inherently selfish in their decision making. That might extend to the party, but that is, and they don't specifically make all good or all evil decisions. They make the decisions that are pragmatic in the moment, right? That tends to be how most people would classically play, right? Um, it's how you cast your character's decision making that shifts you away from that, right? Not making, like Radian is a chaotic character, right? There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right?
Nope.
He is a chaotic character. Now, is he an evil character? No, I don't think so. Is he a good character? No, don't think so.
Nah.
Nah. Um,
I think he
so
wants to be good,
he maybe wants to be, right?
but
Ben
he's not really great
mentioned-
at getting there.
Ben mentioned that he sees Radian as a chaotic neutral.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that fits with what I was just saying, right? Um, so, there's that inherent self-interest, right? Um, it's where you have that, at that point, the alignment isn't that useful, really, right? I mean, which was kind of Aoife's position, right? It was like,
Yeah. Like I do agree with the point that they all made that it's not the most useful because it's categorizing and boxing traits in that it's not as fixed as the alignment chart would make you believe it to be, which is why I'm trying to look for a good enough chart, but a good enough picture of it, but I can't really. Like if you just look for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous or Water Alignment Circle, you see what it's is like. On the top you have neutral good, then chaotic good, then chaotic evil, neutral evil, and like it's a circle. And
Mhm.
based on your choices in the game, you see actually previous conversations and stuff like that, you see that the dot that the character is in, it moves slightly. And you see the previous choices that where it moved.
Mhm.
Like it's not this
It's
nine
not a
circle.
it's not a box or a Venn diagram,
It's a
right?
more fluid circle thing.
Of course.
Hard to explain like this.
Of course. I think if you were sitting though with somebody, Pat, who was hard in on the alignments, well, then you have a true neutral character, right? If there is if the character lacks nuance, right, and is very one dimensional and dogged, then you can fit them in those boxes. Otherwise, you're more close to the center, right? You're going to make decisions that are pragmatic in the moment, right? And that's a neutral character, right? That is not a character that's going to make those decisions based on some lawfulness of an action, right? Like that's the easiest one to think, right? In your mind, right? But those are very deep decisions that are very personal to your character. And going back to
And
Aoife's point, I don't think alignment helps you make those decisions. You've got to put yourself in the mind of the character as best you can and try to make that decision, right?
I shared the circle in the Discord, and you see there is no true neutral actually. That's the middle, and the character is never there. It's like the circle, it goes around depending what decision you make, but there is no true neutral in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you're casting it, right?
But I do like this differentiation more than the classic, there's 9 choices, you're either or. Yeah, that's what I was just wanted to bring up because I found it fascinating how they talked about alignments.
That's good. Yeah, I think there's some interesting things you can like play off in terms of alignment and just like playing with the concept of it. Like I like using it as again like a vague framework on like how my characters see the world and kind of going from there. It creates some fun examples where like in my current game, a big part of the story is how my character who is lawful good, a lawful good minotaur, who worships the lawful good god, for reasons, but is deeply existential about the fact that because being a minotaur means being tied to a chaotic evil god, basically. And like the indication that in the dogma of the lawful good god, anything that is basically touched by chaotic evil has no basically place with them at all. And it's created there's a really interesting relationship that we're sort of building into because with this character who is lawful good and will remains that way because firmly that's who she is as a character, actually reaching out and trying to ways which I know are going to fail, but it's just what the character would do to understand and find some kind of middle ground with like literally Baphomet, chaotic evil, the guy trademark. God, the wide opening from Pat there was the wide eyes from Pat there was fascinating.
No, it's just that Baphomet is one of the revered chaotic evils in the game.
I mean, but my character's kind of got her through line to Baphomet right now, and through like reasons has kind of really fallen out of this like lawful good god and thought actually maybe this isn't good. And it's like it's interesting like that kind of relationship, and like I kind of feel how if I were to reclassify her alignment, maybe it's shifted, but it stayed more of the same, but it's just interesting with like perspective. So I think there's really interesting stuff you can play with.
Oh, definitely.
And it's the best played when you play it a little loose and use it more as a guideline. It's like it's rooted from an age where it's like if you are lawful good and this specific spell is cast on you, this happens. If you're aligned with this, then this kind of thing happens. Whereas like that's a remnant that doesn't really exist a lot in nowadays how we want to play these games.
Like even in Baldur's Gate 1, you have items that do not work if you are of a different alignment.
Exactly. So
I mean, we have an item in Reliquiae that is currently in I's pack that has a specific alignment associated with it.
Oh.
That is Iago's whip.
Oh yeah, and it only works if you're evil.
Yep. So it's not like we don't have alignment, right? We do.
Not...
We absolutely have alignment.
Who's deciding in Reliquia what's evil and what's not?
Well,
it's like
I mean, well, we know who is deciding, but it will be interesting to see how that stuff plays out going forward, right? Because people's allegiances and alignment association, at least when it comes to good, evil, etc., right?
I have a weird question that's just come into my head, like because again we've got like the different gods and stuff that represent some of the like allegiances, like the things we've got the virtuous, the good gods, the vile, the evil gods, and we've got the wild, the chaotic gods. Where's law in all of this? Because it's 4. we currently have 3. We've got good, evil, and chaos. What's law? Where's law at?
I mean,
Sanctum.
classic. What was that, Shan? Sorry.
The sanctum.
I
Just
mean,
kidding. I'm
the
kidding.
sanctum is. I mean, I think
That's
even
rock justice.
I think Harry even said in 18 or 19 or 20 that the sanctum, the Fortis Legion is lawful good.
Yeah, that's lawful
Mhm.
good. I'm
Right.
wondering, like, again, like it's. I just thought it's kind of interesting in terms of we have gods that kind of represent each side of that alignment scale, but
Mhm.
notably, like, I mean, I don't think it's as simple as just just fold law into good or like law into evil. Law is its own inherent like thing. I wonder if it's like a law of the universe. Where's the
Good
laws of the
question.
universe? Where they
Good
at?
question.
Answer
I
me that,
mean,
Harry.
Yeah.
Okay, coach brain back on, gang. We got to start asking questions. Are there lawful? What is laws in the universe? What is laws in the universe the gods are abiding by? Because that might be your 4th thing in the alignment.
The gods of the gods.
The gods of the gods.
Who
Well,
created the gods?
so far we have only
Harry,
we've
the
seen
DM.
Harry
No,
the
I mean,
DM.
other than that, but yeah.
I mean, we have yet to see. We've seen lots of clerics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
We've only ever seen one paladin.
Yeah, paladin survival rate not very high right now.
No. And the same for druids.
Does question? Oh no, I think Alec. I forgot who was the one for. Who was the dragonborn Antiqua again? Anyone?
Carvelian?
Yeah,
Carvelius.
Carvelius. Yeah,
Carvelius, thank you.
Mhm.
I got it
it's-
confused with the city, but I knew
it's-
where I was going with it.
It's midnight. It's like it's like 1:30 over here in Sweden.
I got 4
So
hours of sleep and opened this morning. We're all on the
we're
same page
running-
right
we're running
now.
on fumes,
We're
gang.
dying.
Gonna have about that much sleep
Car-
today, so
Yeah, when they were fighting Carvelius, it was like they come on, brain. When they were, was
Come on, brain,
Carvelius
think-
a
brain,
cleric
think of
or a
things.
paladin? But they're like a cleric. They were a cleric.
Yeah.
I thought they had paladin abilities, and I was stupid
Yep.
and wrong.
All right.
There should be more paladins.
We
Where
happy
are
with
they at?
20? We're happy with 28?
I've got nothing more I want to say about
There's
28.
just like a lot of
Good episode.
stuff, you know, like
A lot of things
there's
happened.
Stuff happened, but it's not like not much of it is super like chewy.
All right.
There's a lot to digest, a lot of meat on that bone, and we've done it.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Whoa.
29.
29.
29.
yeah.
29.
I've already got my prediction in.
Let's get the predictions. Let's just knock out predictions right away.
I did mention that one, and then I wrote it into the doc, but that's more like
That's
for
helpful. Yeah, that seems like
anything,
more
like
of an
general
overall
future
Mhm.
thing.
You can keep yours in
But-
mind of future one. Do you have a specific one for 29? Knowing the cadence
I-
of the show, studying it, we've studied it, we're nearly 30 episodes in.
I forgot
What's
that
gonna
I
happen
wrote
next
this into my notes, but it is
Mhm.
there. Radian is gonna ask Dolly to transform into a horse again. As soon as possible.
He just thinks it's funny.
Okay. Transform
Okay.
into a horse again.
To
Well,
let
that's
her
good to
let
know.
him transform her into a horse again. I mean, we ended the episode where she's still a horse.
Yeah.
But Radiant is gonna work so fast so
Mhm.
that she's a horse again because he
Can
enjoyed
you
it so
remember
much.
off the top of your head what the duration of polymorph is, Pat?
I think an hour.
I can look it. I can look
I
it
think
up.
it's an hour.
Do it,
I think
Shan.
it's an hour.
I have it
Because
right
I have
here.
another.
Well, I
I
think
have a
5th
related
edition
prediction.
is just 1 hour. Concentration spell, 1 hour. Maybe they change it into 2024, but I don't think that's much
Shan is going to
bigger.
find out for us.
I
My
found
prediction
out.
I've already mentioned.
What is it,
says-
Shan?
Up to 1 hour.
Up to.
Oh,
Yes.
Pretty good.
So
Yeah.
you can break
Concentration.
concentration whatever you want, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Ma'am, she literally sat on top of Expedition 33 as soon as I moved the book. Excuse me.
Comfy.
So I've got my prediction there that Radian will use the drugs in 29.
There you go, honey.
Ooh. Radian uses somnium.
Yep.
Do you want to get more specific? Do you think he's going to do it during a long
The
rest, or can I not
drugs.
tempt you?
No,
with
I don't think
specificity?
I don't think I need to be any more specific than
Okay. Okay, brilliant.
Uh,
My
go, Harry.
Carry on.
Go.
My prediction, kind of on the complete flip side to Pat, because I think these two things, because I think it's going to, on the flip side to Pat, because I think it'd be funny. I would just be funny if they just don't talk about the horse incident.
Yeah,
Like
it
a
would
joke,
be, but
I've got 3 joke prediction. No one talks about the horse incident. A serious prediction is that the title of the episode is 3 words.
Ooh,
Is
that's a
3
good one.
words, and
Have all the titles of all the episodes so far been 3 words?
no, there's been some 2 ones. There's been some
Okay.
2 ones. There's only ever been one. I think there's only ever been one though.
Okay.
There's only ever been
Cool.
one. There was Oathbreaker. I don't think we've had one as
Oathbreaker,
dramatic
yeah.
as that yet.
Shan, have you got
Yeah.
your prediction ready?
I think. I
Oh, I
don't
had
think...
a third. If you want time to
Go
think.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I just want to figure out how to word what I
I'll
want
let
to
you
say.
figure out how to word it. Well, I'll give my third. My third prediction. I'm going for a 3 for 3. If I get any of these wrong, then fudge. My third predi is that I think that the blighted people are going to. Things are going to get much worse for them. Because the blighted people. So Elwyn and
Elwyn and Radian. Okay.
that
yeah.
also is interesting. What if Radion takes it while he's still blighted? Like,
Radian is so cooked if he takes it.
Yeah.
It, Radian is so cooked. He's exploding. He's
Maybe
exploding. He's got blight. He's
He's
exploding.
Maybe it'll cure the blight.
Yeah, maybe it will.
Holy fudge! If it actually
Mushroom
does.
gave him
Oh
the
my
blight.
gosh.
Mushroom take blight away.
Fudge, that could be it. That could actually happen. That could
Mushroom
actually
take
happen.
blight.
Blight cure.
The mushroom
the
giveth,
Gloam are
the
just
mushroom taketh
the Gloam
away.
are just misunderstood. They're really here to cure the blight.
Yeah, the blight
That's
that
why
they
they've got
caused.
the-
That's why Radiant doesn't want to kill them.
You know what's going to happen is we're going to get Ben Star's going to at everyone on the Discord and say
Oh,
this
God.
episode's going to be very special, everyone, very very special. And everyone's going to tune in to Radiant being like, I take the Somnium, and then Harry's like, cool, you explode because you have blight.
But that actually kind of makes sense that they
And we all
created the
cry.
blight, because
Player
they
death.
spread the blight and then create Somnium to cure it, and they want people to buy Somnium.
That
That's
could
the
be
market.
Yeah, fuck.
So what you're saying is that the Gloam are like some kind of
Supply and demand.
I think
reliquie pharmaceutical company here?
Yeah, they're evil.
Yeah,
Gloam
they're
are
the Purdue. They're Purdue. They are like the Purdue of Reliquie.
Oh man.
What's in the blue water, guys? They're pumping the water full of blue.
They're turning the frogs gay.
Oh,
They're
man.
turning the frogs
They're
blighted.
turning the fish into frogs and the frogs into fish, and they're all gay.
They're all
And
good.
the fish are becoming weird, black and teethy
Yeah.
in the ocean.
All right, Shan, your prediction.
I think
You've had time to word
that
it.
I think that, you know how I followed the Gloam. I don't think he's going to necessarily find out anything of consequence. Because he has to come back soon. Like, he can't be far away for long anyway.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm tired of predicting Radiant and Dolly. Because I keep getting burned.
If you don't predict it now, you know
That's
what
when it
you
will
know what it
happen.
is.
I think-
Gambler's fallacy.
See,
Gambler's
here's the
fallacy.
thing. I think I'm gonna raise you. I think they will talk about the horse. I don't like. They're gonna talk about how he turned her into a horse. Not that he's gonna do it again, but they're gonna at least talk about it because he did call her a very nice horse.
Is she
and
gonna?
Magnificent horse.
Yeah, and he was normal.
Yep.
He's a very good rider and he's normal.
Is
So
is she gonna like it?
I don't think she's gonna be thrilled, but it worked. So I think she'll think of it a little bit logically. Like,
she'll
I
appreciate
hate that you did that.
the radiant pragmatism.
Yes, like I can see why you thought that was the best way to handle things. I don't love it, but at least you were normal when you rode me back to camp. I do think the humor of it might be the thing that causes them to talk a little bit. And again, like I said in previous predictions, they've saved each other now. They've each saved each other now. So I think this is a good time to they'll sit down and have a hee hee ha ha about how she was a horse and then talk about things.
Being a horse is the perfect icebreaker.
What if horse could be our always? What if horse bring us together?
Thank you, horse.
Thank you, horse.
Always be horse.
Always be horse.
The irony that also horse makes the freaking emotes. Holy fudge! It's all planned.
Oh God.
It's all planned.
The layers. It's like an onion. You peel one back, you find another. Yeah.
All right. I think we're set.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think we're set.
Got some meaty preds.
Yep. The spoliers are departing.
Spoliers.
Goodbye, spoliers. Oh fudge!
You
for
guys
this
know.
bit.
You guys know what time it is.
Yeah. Give me 20 seconds.
It's mop time.
I'm not sure what I can lift without disturbing the mister, maybe?
The
Lift
animal.
him.
The animals.
Lift him. Yes. Raise the cat. This used to be something we would do at Sixers games.
Oh,
Raise
this
the
is
cat.
my 15-and-a-half-year-old young
Adira, you're
baby
doing
boy.
so great. Oh, I hear you. Do you want to get put down?
He is behaving like an angel compared to yesterday.
Okay. Here you go, baby. Back to Spoon. Adira will let you know if she doesn't like something, but she won't hurt you. So I really appreciate that. She'll just tell you.
Oh, that is.
Wow.
That looks foul, Harry. But
Harry,
What is
I
that?
hate that.
that's a mop.
I hate
yeah.
It's
that.
an excellent looking mop. All right. I think it's time. Any other business, guys? Oh, other business.
Other
Harry.
business.
Huh? Yeah.
The floorball. What was the score?
Oh, fudge the floorball. Well, I didn't win. I also sprained my back in the process.
Oh, great.
No. You're so disappointed. We didn't win.
I don't know if that great was for you lost or you hurt your back.
You
I
hurt
think
your
it was
back.
I think it was 2 and 8
Okay.
or something. But hey, there was a lot of floorballing going on. I've not floorballed before. It was a good floorballing.
yeah.
Did attempt to. I did
He
almost
doesn't want
get
anymore.
pushed over the railings.
Oh.
When I was trying to tackle someone. I didn't realize you could tackle someone. It's very like physical contact, this flavor of floorball.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with floorball. And for those who don't know, floorball is like hockey with ball.
Mhm. Yeah.
And no skiing.
And normal gym shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is what I plan to do.
Oh,
Wet wipe
excellent.
on a
I love
screwdriver.
it. I love it. All right. I think it's time. You can put your mops
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we
Let's roll some polies.
yeah, we really do.
Yeah,
Holy
and
fudge is more
because my favorite
Holy
dice
fudge.
was a D20, I'm gonna use my newest dice set.
The mop smells bad, Harry.
So bad. So bad. Holy fudge. It is not good.
All right, guys.
Newest dice set.
ASMR.
Ooh,
White
very nice.
with black cats on it.
Are you doing it in the tower?
I did.
I don't know where my tower is right now.
It's not good, guys. It's
I'm trying to
bad.
roll.
Oh, it's bad.
Let me ASMR. Hold on while I click all the buttons. Hold on.
It's gonna be
Click,
bad.
click. That's my rolling noise.
Oh God. I didn't like that.
It's okay. Are we doing the game where we try to predict who's lowest to highest? If you're low, whoever's lowest speaks first, and we try to get it to the highest. We're doing that. We're doing that now. Who thinks they got the lowest here?
I think I did.
Definitely not.
Ooh. Pat, you confident?
Yeah. I got the
Um,
list.
um,
Audio
okay.
listeners, we have maths
I think
going
I'm
on.
very mid.
Okay. I think Shan, do you want to start if you think you're lowest?
I got a 35.
Oh, 35.
That is low.
Dang, that is low.
Harry?
Okay,
Who? I think I'm above. I think I might be above Pat. But maybe not by much. Pat, what? How confident are you feeling?
one sec. You say
How
you're
you feel?
above me?
I think I might be, just by atmosphere and vibe. How confident do you feel being second?
Um,
This
it's very mid, so it's really hard to say.
mine's also quite mid, so I don't know. This is a stare off, but I think mine's above mid.
Then I think you're correct.
Okay, what is your number?
73.
Yes, yes. Yeah, mine's fudging 81.
I was
81.
correct in thinking that. Haha.
So good, correct. And then finally, Doc, what did you get?
96.
Oh,
Almost
that's
nice.
close. That was quite close. I like this format. That was really close. Yeah. Well, the strategies we
So
can learn from that.
35 for Shan. Let's write these babies down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Or Shan-
I'm
or Shan-
getting chided, so I'm trying to do both.
Yeah, 35 Shan, 70 what?
73?
73 Pat, 81 Harry, and 96.
96. 96.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I
There you go.
sucked.
Note them down for you.
Excellent. You can throw them in
Mine
the
was
doc if you
bad.
want, Harry.
I will do that later. We
Copy.
got
I wrote
Paste.
them down too. I'll just put them in the.
Good.
that's fantastic.
All right.
Let's do it.
Then
That sucks.
I think we can begin our wrap up here. Let's roll initiative, shall we?
Rolling shit.
Should be
I'm not
20s.
going first on this one. I got a 4. I'll do the noises.
Oh no.
What was that?
All right, my roll is 15.
15. Wow.
I got a 6.
Mine was a 4.
I rolled 2, right? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go, Pat. It's just
I'm gonna
determining
use
the order of the
this one now.
who does the show.
Roll the shoutouts. Good technique.
Natural 1,
3.
3.
3. No, that's good. You get time to think. Okay. Wow.
Harry?
Doc, you're up first.
Harry, what
No,
did
I
you?
got a 4. I got
You
a
got
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shan, did you also get 4?
I got a 6.
Oh, 6. Okay. So 3, 4, 6. Wow.
And 15.
And 15.
Take it away.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Pat, for coming on and
Thank you.
joining us in the craziness. Especially a little bit later than we had planned. Otherwise, yeah, thanks to lovely co-hosts Shan and Harry for putting up with me for another couple weeks. Next episode will be number 10. Very excited. Yeah, and looking forward to seeing all of the pictures and general chatter from the PAX Easters. Harry, you are not going to MCM, correct?
No,
Okay.
I've done too much travel and I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
And I
But
want to
Pat-
be able to afford the merch. I gotta be real.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna
it's-
be fighting
I understand,
whoever
man.
wants that dice set.
I understand.
You and me both. High five.
Bing. Cool.
Looks like it's Shan next.
Go, Shan.
Boy, well, thanks to you guys for being so patient that my day just kept getting worse and worse, and I was over an hour late. Thank you. Shout out to, thank you to Pat for being here. And then shout out to Sandfall Interactive for my current favorite game. Thank you to Ben Starr for everything you've got going on. As Verso, thank you for being the character I kind of need right now. Thank you to the cats who are being incredibly loud because my sister is home and they can hear her upstairs. Anything else? And thank you to Natural Six for coming to PAX so that I can meet you guys in 2 days.
Hell yeah.
Yes, that's all I got.
Right on.
Ooh.
Harry.
I don't have many thanks for this time. Obviously, thank you, Doc. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Pat, so much for another fabulous, lovely episode. Who am I gonna thank this time? Ooh. Fudge. There was thanks to just the concept of Valborg in general. Very cool little celebration, little event. We love that. Shout out to Sunny, who is my friend here in Sweden. Shout out to my D&D group in general. That's gonna be Mabruk, Lancelot, Kane, Mariam, and Sunny as well, because you guys are super awesome and super cool. And also shout out to Ben Starr for giving us permission to use his fabulous art on the stream.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Benjamin.
Excellent. Last but not least, Pat.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun. I had fears about this because I'm not sure I'm gonna be watching this because I loathe listening to my voice, but it might happen. I don't know. I am not that comfortable with that, but I felt very welcomed and safe to talk and stuff. And I would like to thank this elderly gentleman for behaving.
Yeah.
Because he
Audio
can be
listeners,
very,
cat.
very insistently yelling.
Might be the fact that it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yesterday when we did or 2 days ago, because it's technically already Wednesday, it was the time when I got home and I feed him, and yeah.
Excellent. Well, right on the stroke of 2 a.m. Central European time.
Nice.
If you are not subscribed to the Natural Six Patreon, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I don't know how you're here and don't know about this and are not already subscribed. But hey, what you do you. But please like and subscribe. Not our stuff, but Natural Six's stuff. And I think that's it. Check out the merch, either in person at MCM or on sale at the end of May. I think we out. We're done. Bye.
Bye.